You are listening to the Hello Sport Podcast.
What's up, punters and dribblers? Welcome back to the Hello Sport Podcast, the home of unqualified opinion and unwavering bias. For the first time in what feels like maybe 3 decades, we're just back together.
We are back together, yes. I don't think you and I have done a Monday podcast in the old seats.
I'm trying to work. Did we do one after the Olympics?
No, because you weren't in Perth when you came back. We had to do it on the Tuesday, I think.
We would have done one after the Olympics, that first
Just
Monday.
one after the Olympics,
But that was...
I don't even remember anything from that.
Mate, big haze.
I feel like I'm just emerging now from the fog of Olympics, UFC, sickness.
100%.
Eddy and Bali.
I'm back.
Yeah,
I'm back literally,
Yes.
physically, fucking emotionally,
Yeah.
spiritually, like you wouldn't believe. Spiritually, I'm
Spiritually,
all the way
you're
back.
back?
All the way back.
You
dude.
real spiritual?
As in, like, my soul has come alive again.
Yep.
It's been dormant as fuck, dude. I slept for like the first 3 days. I was just a mess.
Oh, really? Well, still getting over the sickness?
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
Everything. And that sickness came at the wrong fucking time. And before
Yeah.
people shit down our throat Masood style, it was a huge 3 days. There was no good day involved. There was no sleep. It was complete madness.
Yep.
We shot ourselves in the cocks.
Yep.
And then we had a huge week that week. I just remember grinding through that week, dude, going, this can't be happening to me right now.
Yeah.
What is going on right now?
Yeah.
I've got shit to do that I don't want to do, but I have to do.
Well,
and I've got
don't want to do that.
energy.
You don't want to do when you're sick
Correct. Well, I didn't want to do it then at that point in time.
because you were sick.
Because I was sick.
Yeah. But to be honest, you talk about spiritually recovered. There's something about the being sick and getting better where I'm actually like, I'm not like, oh, fuck, I've been sick for so long, I need a break. I'm like, I feel like I'm spiritually healed from being sick. I'm like, thank fuck. I'm just grateful I don't feel like that anymore. So I'm like, yeah, dude, this is fantastic.
I'm just grateful that period's over.
Yeah.
It was just an intense period.
And largely self-inflicted.
1,000% self-inflicted. No. There's no ifs or buts. Like, yeah, obviously supporting the nation's, huge
an
lift sort of
obligation. We
stuff.
have
And it's
to.
an
We have-
obligation, and we got pats on the back from it. We got credit for it, rightly so. Obviously, we win 18 goals. It doesn't happen without us. We know the story. We know the narrative. But the week after all that, after we'd been to Perth, was self-inflicted in the extreme. And
Yes.
I paid one of the great tolls. You've always got to pay the piper, as they say. And I fucking paid that cunt.
I paid it. I got every single person in my household
paid
sick.
it.
I was sick as a goddamn dog. Then I got poor old Cody Totes. I got him sick. Wiramu over there, I got him sick. I'd love to know about anyone that fucking came within cooee of me at the golf day.
Oh, they would have been dropping like flies.
Surely I'm fucking responsible for a few of those.
I would have been dropping like flies.
But you know what? You know you're alive. You're alive. There's also like when you've got a sick household, I don't know if this is just a kid thing, but like when then the sickness lifts, it honestly feels like everything's brighter. Like you open the windows, there's breeze coming through, you clean everything and you're like, fuck yeah, all the
Colour
bed sheets are clean.
returns.
Colour returns, dude. But you're back from Bali, which is more interesting than anything else that I did. No disrespect to Father's Day, which I can talk to. But how was it, mate?
Fucking glorious.
Walking into a fucking commentary gig.
It was fucking glorious. I hadn't been to Bali in years. We used to go quite a bit, Ella and I, but then COVID happened and you just, I don't know. Didn't go back. Was going to other
Did you
places.
get the runs?
No, not at all. Not sick, no runs, not a fucking problem, not an issue whatsoever. Like, I think if you go over there and you party and you're in the pools and you're dipping your head into urine-sucked fucking, like, beach clubs and shit, and you get a bit loose.
You reckon everyone's pissing in those pools?
Fuck yeah, bro.
I
reckon at a certain point, I think during the day when things are civilized, no. I think 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock, people are pissing for sure.
Wow, that's insane.
Mate, we ate well, we drank well, we had a great time, and avoided all sickness, which was glorious. Not even an inkling of it.
Oh, that's good.
Not even a sniffle of it, as in Bali belly, punters and dribblers. That's what I'm referring to here. Got up to Uluwatu after a couple of days. Vaughan Blakey, friend of the show, was up there calling the Rip Curl Cup at Padang. And he goes, mate, come down, watch. I'll get you some fucking 6 seats on the cliff. By that, he just means like this is the media section and you can see all the action from the cliff.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a
No,
seat set up.
No, I get you.
We shot the shit for a while, having a great time. He was his charismatic self, Vaughan, as always. And then he goes, mate, why don't you jump on for 10 minutes? I'm like, sure, I'm here.
Why the fuck not?
Why the fuck not?
Why wouldn't I?
Why wouldn't I jump on with you, mate? So we jump on, have a bit of a fucking giggle, and that's all she wrote.
And did you go rip with him afterwards, or were you being responsible?
I was being responsible. Yeah. There was like
an urge inside.
I wouldn't say there was an urge, given what we'd been through, and given what I'd been through. Yeah. So the urge certainly wasn't there, like it may well have been at a different time. Yeah. There's also the element of like Noah Dean, who won, who's like an Aussie ripper, who fucking Vaughan knows. He's like, we're gonna go party and shit. I'm like, I'm not in your world. You know what I mean? So then I'm just like the guy.
You become the guy who's just hanging out, who does
you know what I mean?
You're the third wheel of third wheels.
And I wasn't officially invited. He's like, calm down. Like, we want to get on the piss and shit. You know, like.
No, I get it.
That may well have been said as like just a nicety as opposed to you're invited.
Now, listen, I don't think that anyone says that as a nicety. I think like.
True.
I think if you say that, you mean it. Unless you're a freak, and I know that's like because if you don't want someone to come,
that's
for the love of God, don't invite them.
I'm being mean to Vaughan here.
Well, you're not even being mean to him. You're more just like you're more being I think it's more self-depreciating. Like, oh, maybe you don't want me. That's like that, and I get that. That's fucking. But it's more that when you do get there, what am I in for? Because obviously, Vaughan isn't going to hold your hand for an entire night with the fucking crew, so you just sort of like, do I get in there and not know anyone and end up sitting around?
You know, I'd be gawking out a little bit. Like, there's Park over there.
Yeah,
there's
you
fucking
would.
Mason Ho. Like, oh, there's a couple of heavy hitters getting around. Yeah. Actually, Mason Ho was in the villa right next door to me. Didn't have the fucking nuts to say anything to him, but I knew he was there. I was eyeballing him.
That's all you do. Don't go up and say hi.
No, I'm not that guy. I would never. I'm saying, should there have been a passing moment?
Or if you'd go onto the kick-ons, you then make friends, then you're back at the villa, and maybe it's like, hey, you want to get some?
Now we're literally best buds, me and Mason Ho. You know what I mean?
See, now that's why you listen. I get it. I get why you didn't go.
There was like, I was there with my wife.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the real one. It's hard to sell if you go, hey, baby, I'm going to nip off to the.
I know we just got here.
Kick-ons.
I know we just got here like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
But I'm fucking. Listen, Vaughan needs me.
Where? When he calls you.
When Vaughan calls, you answer and you go rip.
Yeah.
I didn't do that. I was mature.
Responsible.
It was mature.
Yeah, you've grown up. Mate, completely different circumstance, but just in terms of that energy of going like, at another time I'd be like foaming at the mouth to just go and have a rip. And this was just Saturday night when I had dinner with Streety and Koo and their little girl Rosie and our girls' night. And then afterwards he's like, mate, I'm going to my brother-in-law's place for like a bit of a lock-in in his like garage or some shit. He's like, calm. And he's used his like, it's Father's Day weekend, I want to go have a rip. That's what he's used with Carly. And I'm just like, nah. I've done such a disservice to my body and my spirit.
Yep.
That I'm like, I can't even understand internally. I'm observing myself having no desire to go do that. When usually that would be something that would be quite appealing. Again,
it speaks to the gravity of the month. it can't speak to anything other than that.
Yeah, it was a serious a month dripping in gravity.
Absolutely dripping in gravity. It was the densest month, I think, of all my months.
Of all the months,
such density to the
certainly
month.
Of all like. Rightly, or like for different reasons, but potentially the densest month we've had in the history of this fine operation.
Oh, it was just such supreme density.
Yeah,
that it's just had a linger. But I'm happy to report, punters and dribblers, as of the 2nd of September, we are in spring.
Oh, we're in spring.
You know, we're all starting to slip, and I'm feeling fucking terrific again. Like, I'm ready to go again. I'm good to go now.
I'm good to go, actually, as well. I had a couple yesterday for Father's Day. I basically haven't really drunk since Vegas. Like, I had a couple with Dad on the potty.
Since Vegas?
Sorry, Vegas, since fucking Perth.
Vegas, mate.
May as well have been Vegas. I had a couple with Dad on the potty, a couple with Fred, but that's it. And then I had a couple on Father's Day, a couple of techies, and I was just feeling the, like, warm, summer day, couple of techies on board. I'm like,
Ice?
Of course.
Plenty of ice.
Plenty of ice.
Nice. Were you drinking something nice?
I was, Fortaleza.
Oh, okay. All right, buddy.
Yeah, okay.
Is that a fucking Father's Day present or what?
Well, to myself. But just that, the warmth in the air, it just...
Oh,
it gets you.
It's fucking... It's
just so.
It's out there, bro. I heard it's been hot as fuck.
It has been. The thing that's been annoying me, Eddie, is a man who, I'm not going to say suffers with hay fever, but overcomes hay fever on an annual basis.
Well, you go to battle with it.
I go to battle with it and I prevail, but I don't suffer because that's a defeatist attitude.
Well, there's casualties.
Not me.
As in, like, you know...
They can maybe cut me up. They can nick me up.
You get wounded sometimes.
But I prevail.
I'm not saying you don't
ultimately.
win.
I'm saying I prevail. So it's not suffer.
All you're saying is that hay fever doesn't kill you.
I suffer with psoriasis.
Doesn't kill
I
you.
don't beat psoriasis. Psoriasis beats me. There's
Well,
nothing I
you
can do about
coexist.
it. We coexist together, exactly. It's like we're a fucking organism.
It's like a parasite that's eating half your fucking meal.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you got to eat double
Yeah.
just to feed that
Just to
fucking
feed
thing.
it. Now, the hay fever is what it is, right? But if you get enough nasal spray going, like today, I'm feeling completely fine.
Have you
Better than last year.
Preloaded?
You should really, punters and dribblers, if you're a hay fever sufferer, August you should be pumping shit up you to get yourself prepped.
If you're a beater, get going early.
Well, that's not fair. You fucking suffer from gourd, so that's pretty bad.
Not anymore.
Well, thanks a good day.
Thank you.
That's
That's not it. That's
well,
no
essentially,
bullshit.
I cured your gourd. Me. I did it. What I'm saying is, it's all good to be fucking hay fevering, but why does it need to be windy? Happy for spring to come along, but is wind like a feature of spring? Is wind meant to like blow pollen and fucking shit everywhere?
I think...
It's just been windy from the fucking second it started.
Has it been windy the whole time? I thought it was just windy today.
No.
Oh, there's been wind about
It's been windy.
I wouldn't say that historically I would associate any months really with being windy.
No.
My only strong feeling for Sydney weather and months is I go, February's fucking humid as fuck.
Yep.
July's cold. Like I can hang on to that. I
You
know
can
that to be true.
Yeah.
Summer's like, it's fucking,
I mean, you could probably hang on to it.
It's hot as fuck from November
You could hang on to
through
a bit more than that, I reckon. Like, that's the very least you can hang on to.
As in like,
June's cold.
Well,
December's hot.
December's hot.
So's November usually. January.
But what I'm saying, but usually, you know what I mean? Like, what I'm saying is in February, it's always humid, full stop. It's got a feeling for it that month.
Fair. That's fair. Listen, if that's all you can hold on to, then that's also okay. That's fine.
All I'm saying is, you seem concerned about the wind,
Only
and
because
I'm trying to make a comment
when
around.
You're a hay fever guy, like you need to fucking not have pollen blown into your eyeballs every 2 fucking
Well,
seconds.
maybe just fucking man up and have a talk to your immune response system and go stop fighting yourself. Stop fighting yourself.
Well, that's more the psoriasis. Hay fever, I don't exactly know what the hay fever is. I know it's something to do with that, but it's like pollen and shit.
I thought it was. Isn't that autoimmune as well?
Yeah, listen, there's some connections. There's some links. Eczema, psoriasis, asthma. Shout out to the Warriors. Hay fever. There's some shit there. I don't know, dude.
Well, anyway, listen. Spare a thought for the sufferers out there.
Yeah, and shout out to all the dads for Father's Day.
Shout out
well
to
done.
dads.
Good on you.
Hay fever is also not an autoimmune kind of thing. It's just an allergy to pollens. And
There you go.
So you're allergic to pollen, which is weird.
Well, it's not weird.
It's bizarre.
Why is that bizarre? Dude, it's bizarre is you having to sleep sitting up because of your gourd. That's weird.
like a vampire.
That's fucking bizarre.
Got on top of that, mate. You haven't got on top of your hay fever.
No, mate, I have got on top of it. I'm blasting shit up my nose every day, sometimes twice a day. Can you get just the results up? And then we'll just go from where we see fit. Before we get into the rugby league, I just wanted to shout out my former rugby union club, Easties Beasties Mongrel Dogs. Up and rock 'em, fuck 'em, yeah, or whatever.
You don't even know the song, mate.
Well, the last little bit, I didn't.
It was good to see some support after 15 years. You've gone very quiet.
Mate, what are you
on the
talking
Beasties,
about?
mate.
I love the Beasties. Former club captain.
I just feel like you've
of
got
the East
bad. I feel like there's a bit of trauma there, and that's why you've never gone to see a game ever since.
Mate, I've been to see a game, but I
Just
had
a bit of trauma there.
I had to step down from my role as club captain because I exploded my knee.
That's what I'm saying. Is there trauma there?
No, dude. I go back there. I would have been back there recently. Go back there with the family. Take the girls. The little playground.
It's nice down there.
It is nice down there, and that's like one of the best examples of just change up what you're doing and see how it goes. Because that place pumps now, and it was a fucking dead shithole before then. As a business, as like a bar.
Well, it was wet and muddy, and they just go, we're going to...
And dark, and there just wasn't much
and we just
to
go,
it.
well, let's just put in AstroTurf.
Yeah.
And obviously the first people that do it will completely fuck it, and we'll have to do it again, and it's going to take years and years and years and years and years. But eventually, there will be
you
light.
win the Shute Shield.
Eventually win the Shute Shield after what?
55
years?
55 years.
There you go. Good to see teams other than Sydney Uni winning.
Yeah, and dude, when I
honestly, like Suka, fuck you, mate.
Yeah.
It's boring as batshit, and you know it. It's good. It's good for the game. It really is. We're having a union moment, Tom and I. We went to the Wallabies the other day. Now we're talking Shute Shield. We're loving it.
Well, we've got a rugby. We'll be catching up with Drew, Gitz, and Swoop in a week's time as well.
So, like, don't tell us we don't get around the game.
No, we get around the game. But that game, you obviously didn't watch it. It's like one of the best games of fucking rugby I've seen in years.
I was getting updates, and I'm like, this looks like a good game.
It was fucking hectic.
36-35?
Yeah,
and
East led 29-30.
But they almost fucked it, East,
dude,
huh?
North's dropped it over the line with like for a minute to go.
But would you say East
were...
The way it was reported to me was East were the better side and fell asleep after half-time.
Yeah, that is. East came out hard, got a good lead. But it wasn't
29-13 or something?
29-13.
It wasn't like but it wasn't like the East were just a remarkably better side. They were the better side, but it was fucking close. Like in the same way that East got out to a lead early, North just pegged it back. Like it wasn't.
Yeah.
But the North guy dropped it over the line. Like as in he's putting.
Was it difficult, or was it a fuck up?
It was not a fuck up. It was honestly one where you just go, I feel sorry for the gun. Like, as he's putting it down, it just, like, flopped out of his hand.
He really had to reach, though. He was
reaching, yeah.
Oh,
he wasn't close. He was reaching out.
He was reaching.
Like MJ.
Yes.
Space Jam.
Yeah.
But MJ's MJ, and he doesn't fuck that.
He doesn't fuck that up. But when I shared like the fucking the East of the Shute Shield like premiers thing to our story, and I'm like, don't want to make it about me. But as a former club captain or some shit, like, this day means a lot for me. The amount of fucking dead shits that triggered was just like...
Well, in what way?
Fucking, you don't know shit. Or like, oh yeah, fucking, East bought all their players, your fucking team's a bunch of fucking cheese. I'm just like, don't make it all about you, you fucking idiot. I'm like, oh, God.
Oh, my God.
People are so stupid. I was
People just go on the internet ready.
That's why I was
ready
doing
to punch up.
I was doing it for that reason, like to elicit that response.
But
I'm sometimes shocked by how easy it is.
Yes. It is true that you were a Colts club captain. That also is true. That's a fact.
And it was a proud day for me.
That's a stretch, but you were.
Mate, that's a proud day for me.
Did you feel pride?
Fucking oath, mate. I was at home on the couch with Evie Rose. I was like, Evie, guess what? Dad used to play for that team.
Yep. Not that team,
but like
he played underneath it.
He wore similar jerseys.
Yeah. He played seconds Colts. For like 2 games.
Well, for a year, and then broke his knee and then retired. But he was the club captain for 2 games before he relinquished his position. Anyway, punters and never returned. Anyway, we won. We're premiers.
Angus Crichton looked like he enjoyed himself up there in the crowd. He was fucking in the
he was up there yipping Yahoo and Clary.
Good to see.
Where was there? Good vibes.
Mate, it was a great vibe. I was finding it funny, all the old boys wearing their game jerseys. They were everywhere, and you can tell they were just trying to relive the glory days.
Yeah, but that's what men do, dude.
Oh, it was great. It was great to see.
We just go fucking... Well, all we do is sit around and talk about the glory days.
Yeah, I did this once.
You meet a 90-year-old cunt, they don't shut the fuck up. They're telling you stories from 60 years ago. You're like, I don't know who the fuck old Bill Humphreys is who lived next door and owned a fucking header. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I don't even know.
Couldn't care less.
I unfortunately didn't have my Beasties Mongrel Dogs jersey.
Where's yours been?
I don't know, mate.
Steph threw it out.
She might have thrown it out.
She would have.
She asked me. I said, she's like, well, because we were talking about it. She's like, well, where's your jersey? I'm like, You mean my grand final worn jersey? I don't know. The one I played in the grand final in? I'm not sure. That we lost? I don't know.
Still got your old first 15 jersey, mate?
No, I doubt it. But I did have it for a while, and it was a real fucking reminder of how much weight I've put on. Punters, dribblers, you know by now that we are in bed willingly, gladly, and gleefully with our friends at Four Pines, specifically the Four Pines Japanese Lager. I had the privilege this week, Edward, of introducing my father to Four Pines Japanese Lager and Hectic Fred.
And the people, and they're loving it?
It was very well received.
Mate, the people are turning Japanese. They are. They're fucking loving it.
Yep.
When that sweet, gorgeous, delectable Japanese lager nectar hits the throat, hits the tongue, hits the lips.
Yeah. Everyone's
it's
turning
sayonara.
Japanese.
It's good night.
Sayonara.
Sayonara. It's good night, nurse. Okay? It
Yep.
just is, because it's fucking delicious.
Yeah, it is. It's great.
If you haven't tried it before, why don't you try it, bruh?
Listen,
Why don't you try it, bruh?
Are we going to be rubbing shoulders with the big wigs at Four Pines at the Manly Seagulls bloody awards night? Maybe.
What, next Monday?
Yeah, maybe.
Are we on the Four Pines table? Maybe.
Maybe.
Not important.
Nah.
We're back in the club. Not important.
Hey.
Shout out to Four Pines.
You have to try the Japanese lager, punters and dribblers. Get around it. It's good gear. Before we move on, actually, that's the one thing I wanted to say, because it was in my rugby chat group. We got into a deep rugby discussion with a former World Cup hero recently.
Yeah, about 5 in the morning.
Yeah, 5 in the morning.
Didn't get anywhere.
No, shockingly. But I was like, why is this the best game of rugby I've seen in fucking years? And like, you just don't get it when you're watching the Tars. You don't get it when you're watching the Wallabies.
Fair enough. Fair question.
Their whole thing was like defense. Defense is too good in the professional competition, whereas in Shoot Shield it's shit, relatively speaking. And so they score points.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that's if that's the case, sure. Rugby league, you'd argue the defense is the best version of rugby league defense is in the NRL, but the game is still the best. So it's like what the NRL's done is created.
Yeah, I still think that that's a little bit loose in terms of if two New Zealand teams play each other. Defense is amazing and they're good at games.
Well, listen, I don't agree with the point necessarily. What I'm trying to work out is like, I'm more just going like that doesn't seem like a good explanation.
It doesn't seem like a good explanation. I also don't have an explanation to provide.
No, of course we don't.
Shockingly.
Listen, we'll obviously ask Swoop and Gitz and Drewy.
All I'm saying is that schoolboy rugby and Shoot Shield appear to be more entertaining products.
Can't Shoot Shield rugby, if it's like that most of the time, which obviously I watch the BCs every game this year, but I just forget.
Yeah.
That was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Edgy
Running
as
rugby,
heck.
mate.
Running rugby.
Just a
35, 36, 36,
running
35.
rugby,
Just a bit of running rugby.
Mate. Running rugby.
They weren't taking fucking all these penalties and bullshit.
Yeah,
I mean, they were, but they weren't.
Yeah, just running rugby, mate. Purest.
Let the ball sing.
Get that Gilbert out the backbone.
Yeah, bruh. Fucking overs, unders.
Overs and unders. Plenty
I
of
pick
overs.
up my place. Pillar post.
Pillar post. Crash ball.
Crash ball. Fucking box kick. Now.
Line out. 7-man.
Yeah, Maul. Ruck and Maul. Cows defeating the Storm. Now, I know you went on about even, but Storm plus 12.5 was the bet of the round. Like, that was just...
Storm plus 12.5. Did you...
I didn't do it.
No.
But, like, you
Tyron
can't...
Wishart can play rugby.
Dude, he was on the Matty Johns show yesterday.
Just want that out there. Want that on the public record. If you followed about even this year, you know that I've been sucking Tyron from the back.
I think, see, this is where, and I don't want to sound like Kempy here, who's always like, well, I've been saying it for years. Love you, Kempy. That's a drive-by. I feel like I was first man Tyron Wishart fan club.
I'm not saying you weren't.
That this kid, if Rue has Ruben Cotter CBA, Tyron Wishart's mine.
I'm not here to debate you. All I'm saying is I've been on Tyron Wishart anytime a lot this year. That's all I'm saying. The kid scores tries.
They had him on Matty Johns.
Plenty of them.
And they were like, at one point, Fletcher's like, Fletch or Matty was like, you wouldn't be out of place as a 14 for New South Wales. This guy's the fucking bench player for the Storm.
Guru reckons he's a better 14 than Connor Watson.
Well, that would speak to the origin.
He said he's a better half and he'd prefer him in the outside centres and the wing. That's what he said.
You can put him anywhere. Like, he played hooker. He started hooker there. They named on the wing initially last week before they swapped him for
He's been playing on the wing this year.
He's been playing in the halves,
halves, hooker,
anywhere.
centres.
And that
he's
first
fucking
try he scored off the
scores.
scrum was
That's all he does.
fucking awesome.
He's great. Dude, how the... like, I can understand from his perspective where you're like, geez, do you want to go to another club? Like, you're only 50 games into your career. How old is he? You're only 50 games into your career. Like, do you need to go and chase a fucking half spot at a...
Learn and grow. Learn and
He's
grow.
24.
24?
Learn and grow.
You have a couple more years behind Munster and Harry Grant in terms of, like, whether you're going to be a hooker or a 5'8".
I reckon you learn, you grow, you hope to win a comp, and then you can go chase big cheddar.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, the reality is there's only a handful of teams that can win the comp at the moment. And are they all fucking screaming out for a 5'8" or a 14? I can't tell you right now off the top of the dome. But I don't think that you just fuck off from the Storm just because you've had a half good year, like a great year.
No. Not, and I would agree there. I guess it's more like, and I don't know how long he's signed to him, but I'm just sort of surprised there hasn't been more chat. That's the thing that I was saying when I talk about me being fucking CBAing Tyron Wishart. It wasn't really, but like I remember at the start of the year being like, I feel like this guy's good enough to be a fucking front running half in another team.
You were saying that.
And like everyone's sort of talking about the dearth of halves in rugby league, and I'm like, this guy feels like that sort of a guy who could be a great half for a side, and it just surprised me that wasn't being spoken.
In fairness to you were saying before it was
cool.
Before it was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the hottest thing in rugby league right now, Tyron Wishart. Like, he's a hot piece of ass.
He's a hot piece
Everyone
of ass.
wants a piece. Everyone's talking about him. He's the flavour of the month. And credit to him. He runs on the board, baby. He's done it the hard way.
Yeah.
Roll the sleeves up sort of stuff.
Rod's boy.
Cal's
He's contracted to the end of next season at the Storm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Play another season at least.
Listen, yeah, but
Stock's
again,
only gonna
you got to back
rise.
this year up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Plenty of cunts have great years and they go fucking to sleep. So
Back it up.
back it up, baby.
Maybe some Origin next year.
Maybe just sniff around.
Yeah.
Make your old boy proud. And Cal, shout out to him. But Rod's boy.
Rod's boy.
You know, like Cal, with all due respect, we're talking rugby league here, baby.
You listen. Rod's boy.
He's not Cal's brother. He's Rod's
He's
boy.
not Cal's brother.
In a rugby league
And
perspective.
it's full respect to Cal. Rod's boy.
Who is hotter?
Cal.
Yeah.
Objectively.
Yes.
But with every
This is Rod's boy,
but with every
This is-
quality game of rugby
Hey.
league, the hotness is
Well, this is Rod's boy we're talking about, Tyron Wishart right now. Who is hot?
so hot right now. Hot piece of ass.
Mate, again, back it up. Have another great season. See how you go.
How disappointed would you be if you're the Cowboys and you can only manage to beat a fucking Melbourne Storm side who were good in terms of like they're still not shit with the players they have. 11 players they rested. And you can the Storm were winning.
And you're at home.
Yeah.
And you're at home. 11 players. 11 players is just off the top of the dome. That's too short of a starting side, Tom.
Corrected.
That's too short of a
That's
starting
too
side.
short.
That's not nothing.
No.
As a percentage, I don't know, but it's fuckloads.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't watch this game. Shock horror. I was sunning myself. Kay doesn't work over there. Nanai, right? Everyone's been like his fucking defense and his effort levels all over the map. When I hear that, and I hear this repeatedly about Jeremiah, I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm merely making a point that I'm getting to. All I hear about Nanai is his defense is fucking weak and his effort levels aren't there. And I'm like, what? Wasn't this the whole thing about David Fafita like all year, even though no one could see it, but Nanai was always first pick, first in class, first up? Mm-hmm. I'm like, surely this then provides a little bit more context to like, there has to have been a fallout between Billy and fucking
Certainly
David.
felt like there was, Edward. Not to rake over old coals.
Well, but I'm merely raking over them based on effort levels I've heard about over the week.
Yeah. And Tyron took advantage
Which never seems to be addressed.
No.
It's like, no, you're good, bro.
You're all
But
good.
David, no.
Listen, David could have scored a try for me yesterday. Would have helped. Not a big deal.
Anyway,
it's
I just
not
wanted to say
your fault.
that.
No, that's fair. Bit of old coals. Bit of old coal stuff.
Why not?
Listen, Cowboys making up numbers in the rugby league finals. We know that, but good on them for beating a Storm side.
We're likely to play them.
No, it depends.
So Cows versus Bulldogs this weekend.
Is that right?
For 5th. And then if we beat the Sharks, we will come 6th and get a home final, most likely against the Cows.
Oh, fucking
If Bulldogs
hook that to
beat
me
Cows at
veins.
home.
But we're playing the Sharks at home too. But no Tommy.
No, Tommy. We'll
But
get
still.
to that. Let's get to the next game. Is that Manly next game?
Yep.
Beautiful. Now, Manly defeat the Bulldogs 34-22. It was pretty much 34-12. We let in some late tries. Not a big deal.
They don't count.
They don't count. Did the stream with Hectic Fred. Shout out to Hectic Fred once more for coming on. It was a lot of fun.
Good crowd, 35,000.
35,000, the biggest 6 p.m. game ever.
Good crowd. That's a really good
Yep.
crowd. At that shithole.
What we did, Eddie, was stamped our premiership medal in this game.
Well, we needed to announce ourselves to
Yeah.
finals football. We needed to stand up and go, "Oi! I know last week was a humiliation and shouldn't have happened and
was a
was
loss we needed to
completely
have.
unacceptable."
Loss we needed
But
to have.
we said that it was the loss we needed to have. We spoke about it at length. Check the rugby league tapes from last week. It was the loss we needed to have. Kick us into gear, sort of stuff. Who did we play this week? I mean, last week, the Dogs, who are flying, who everyone's fucking touching themselves over. Go out there and do a job, 34-12. I know it says 22, but it was 34-12. Like, that's a statement.
Yeah, it is. Dogs, we only averaged fucking 16 points conceded a game this year. We haven't conceded 30 points. Yeah, you're up against us. You're up against a couple of dark horses. Tobler, edit dark horses over our heads right now, please. I want Black Beauty as a head right now.
But I want to be a hot dark horse.
Yeah, make me a really hot dark horse.
Like, don't pick a fucking rank one. Pick like a hot
black stallion.
Yeah, like a racehorse, but black or dark.
Black
Probably
caviar.
black. This is where you want to be.
You want to be on dark horse territory, dude.
Dogs
This
had
is where
also
you wanna
never
be.
lost at home. this
They hadn't
season.
lost at home all year.
They were 10-0 at home.
Whoops.
Sorry, couple of dark horses.
Get that up, ya.
Yeah,
Why don't you get that up, ya?
couple of dark horses.
Whoops. Lehigh Hopewadi's a fucking stallion.
He's rookie of the year. Who else could be rookie of the year?
Whoops.
Galvin can't be because he's a violent rugby league player who hip drops people.
Well, he's violent.
He's violent. Who else could be rookie of the year?
Plath, potentially, I think.
Fuck off.
Max Platt.
He's had a good season.
Max
for the
Platt's a great rugby
Dolphins.
league player. Don't get it twisted.
But is he Lehigh Hopewadi, who's a real thang?
You know what I
Again,
mean?
unearthed at the absolute proving ground of rugby league.
Well, from the scrotum
Blaze.
of John. Who?
Blaze.
Yeah. No, not. Nah.
Jack Bostock.
Stocky. I like Stocky.
Listen, there's some worthy contenders, but are they Lehigh Hopewadi?
I don't think anyone's
That's all
done
we're
the
saying.
shit that Lehigh's done.
That's all we're saying.
The way. Who?
Jack Howarth at the Storm.
Again, there's some all right names getting around. Stocky goes okay. So does Blaze. But again, are they Lehigh Hopewadis? Are they from the sack
Of
of the
John.
inspector? No, I don't think so.
Correct.
Lehigh's out there doing the damn thing. Also, shout out to Carl Lawton. That glorious line he ran off the hip of the rescue dog.
Well, the rescue dog,
That's
dude.
fucking purity.
Rescue dog signing of the season.
It's straight out of the elite half play. Look long, play short.
Yeah.
Tom.
What
So
we're
we had a-
realising is that not only is Luke Brooks one of the great 5'8" of modern times,
Who should and will get 5 out of the year.
if there's any justice, but also Carl Lawton, arguably the greatest line running back rower in the NRL.
Well, he runs
right
the
now.
tightest line of all.
Yeah, currently.
So if you were to inspect his line, it's the tidiest.
It was pure.
There's
tidy.
bed's made.
Yeah.
Fucking clothes are away.
But not just made, but everything's tucked in
no, mate,
meticulously.
he steams his sheets.
Yeah,
The man steams his sheets.
that's how tidy he is.
He's fucking dysting non-stop.
Yeah.
There's not a finger out of place. There's
He's
no
got
dust
gumption.
anywhere.
He's gumptioning the surfaces. He's
big
spraying.
gumption guy. You won't
wiping.
find any mold in the shower. Okay. You won't find dirty, smelly towels.
No.
He even does little triangles every time he does a shit. So it looks like you've come into a fucking hotel room.
Yeah,
mate.
he neatens up the TP.
Shit, yeah, he does.
Folds the towel on the corner of the bed with a little chocolate and a cake of soap. He's a soap guy.
Yeah.
He's not a soap. He's not
And he makes
he's
a
not
little
liquid
dog
soap.
out of his towels like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Little
Puts a little
floppy ears and
flour
shit.
on there.
That's how tidy
That's
he's
how
lying
tidy
around.
he is. Fluffs the couches, gets them all
Oh,
puffy
he
and
fluffs.
shit.
He fluffs and he pluffs.
Fluffs and he puffs
and he
fluffs.
fluffs. And he pluffs. And he fluffs.
That's
That's
how
Carl
tidy.
Lawton.
That's how tidy the Carl Lawton's lines are. Fucking tidy as you like. Now, Jason Saab, injury, syndesmosis, who he may have played his last game of rugby league football for the year, which is sad.
It is sad. But we've got troops.
Tommy Turbo, game 150. Fucking, obviously, he got his customary try.
Fucking, I see doubles, I see trend lines, and I get greedy.
No, to be honest,
I got great.
were it not for the injury, he would have scored 2.
Yes, he would have.
So it's not.
That's a good point, and it makes me feel better.
I stood him out for one just in it because he was paying $2. So
Well, when he scored in the 12th minute, I'm like, I'm home.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
And the sad reality was that it wasn't.
That it wasn't over.
Rue reckons he was left on too long.
Well, so do I, bro. That's what I was saying.
That's what Rue reckons.
Mate, as soon as he got that injury, so he got, what's his name? Kickout was going to score, and basically Kickout and Olakawatu's heads went into Tommy's shin. Bit of bone bruising, they were saying. It was just something like that. I was like, we're up here. We're up.
Can bones get bruised?
They can. They
Fair
can.
income.
Yep. Bone bruising.
Is that a thing?
Yep.
Did not know that.
There you go. I think that's what maybe Pappenhausen has. Either way, I was a bit like, because Tommy then was just limping around. I'm like, geez, we could probably just get this guy off now. We can probably just take him off.
Yep.
Like, I don't think that they're going to come back. We're playing well. They're not playing well. They had fucking Burton had already gone off. They didn't have Critter. And we kept him on. Now he's completely torn his AC, grade 3, completely fucked it.
Needle up, son.
But you needle it up. And he's like, bruh, fucking. Apparently, I was reading in the, not the Men's Women's Weekly, but maybe Men's New Idea, Sydney Morning Herald. He's quoted as like, yeah, I'm currently getting needles for my left AC. Can you just try and Sydney Morning Herald? Pretty sure his fucking other AC is already screwed. Apparently, heard Wade Graham saying this on Triple M. The lower the grading of AC actually is the more painful. So grade 1, it's not a full tear. It's actually the most painful. 2, 3, once it's completely fucking ripped through, he's like, that's not as painful because you're not actually just like tearing it.
Yeah, right. I believe everything above the waist can be needled.
Before every game this season, getting pain-killing jabs in his left AC joint.
Everything above the hips up, you needle up.
When he came up from that tackle, you're like, you know, in
Gets one every game.
you know, in Wedding Crashes, that fucking the scene when they're playing football in the backyard, and then Owen Wilson's like, you know, flirting with Rachel McAdams' character, and then she's like, "Oh my God, your friend's hurt again." He's like, "What is his deal?" It's like, I love Turbo so much. Then I see him down after that. I'm like, fuck, Tommy, no, what the fuck? And then he's like, shoulders fucked. He's pissing blood out of his head. I'm like, this couldn't look worse right now.
Couldn't look worse. Well, he looked like a warrior.
Listen, man looked like an absolute badass. I was just more like, fuck, no. Now, it was, you know, you didn't know what the fuck he'd done. The way he was holding it, like, if it's a peck, it's good night nurse.
You think peck immediately.
If it's a dislocation, that's also worse for a shoulder. But if it's just the AC, you're okay. You don't know what to...
Put it this way. You see that and you immediately align it with his career of injuries and you think to yourself, well, he's not going to be here for the finals. Thank the heavens above. It's just a week off.
Now, I mean, while we're talking injuries generally, I actually think this is a more interesting topic here. Is that, like, the finals feels like it's been blown open a little bit in terms of, if you just look at the top 4, Cleary's out right now.
And back when, officially?
Maybe week 1 or week 2 of the finals. Dylan Edwards is fucked. They were talking about it on maybe Channel 9, I think Joey, but like I was looking at highlights. His knee is fucked.
Cleary finals.
He just started finals?
Yeah.
That's not too bad for Penrith then. But Dylan Edwards...
Dylan Edwards, is he going to be...
I don't know whether they're just needling him or what, but like he was jumping up for balls and landing and like just... He looked like he was a lame duck. Like his leg was fucked. He's limping around. Like he looked like if he's injured, if there's something more there, if you can't needle him up or if he's playing hurt, like that's huge.
The Roosters are absolutely completely fucked. Cheese
gone, Walker gone,
both ACLs.
Yeah, then you've got fucking
Bradley's shoulder.
Radley's done his AC, which we can needle. Suolii's out. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with him, shoulder or something. But like that's completely blown them out.
But
Storm,
Sam Walker, they're
maybe.
7. You fucked.
Suolii could be back next week.
Your 7's gone though.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do? It's 9 months, likely.
Yeah,
He's
looking
10
at
games
round
next
10
season.
next year.
Same with fucking Cheese. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think that we play too much rugby league. I just think that that's an undeniable fact.
Yeah.
There's too many fucking games. It's 27 rounds. It should be 22 rounds. It's fucking ludicrous the amount of footy they play. And then the good boys have to go and do fucking international duty when the season's over. It's outrageous.
It is too much, dude.
It's absolutely
too much.
outrageous. There's got to be a reason why there's so many injuries.
Yeah.
Or maybe there always has been, and I'm just not looking at it probably.
No, I feel like it's
But it
gotten
feels
worse.
like there's a lot of injuries.
But especially when it's like your best players. So it's like the people who are playing the most amount of footy. So you've got Tommy, fucking a different story, but like your Clearys,
Your Dylans.
he's usually an origin guy, Dylan. You know, they're playing representative footy as well a lot of the time. Or maybe it's just you notice it more. You're like, well, I'm not
I just think that if you look at the Roosters game yesterday, you're losing 3 men in one game. You're like, is it this time of the year?
Well, listen, I mean, ACLs, right? Like Sam Walker's just went, didn't it?
Yeah, and this is also the 4th season in 5 years the Roosters have had 2 ACL ruptures occur in the same game, according to NRL physio. So in 2020 it was Radley and Verrills, same game. 2021 it was Morris and Collins. 2022 was Billy Smith and Satili, and then last year was this year Sam Walker and
What's
Brandon
that
Smith.
about?
Well, that's just proof we're living in a simulation, probably. Nothing more, nothing less. But
Simulation theory, it just covers all your bases.
It just covers all the
doesn't it?
bases, right?
But
So
Cheese was in a tackle.
Cheese was in a
going
tackle.
down. It looked pretty rough.
Did you see? Can you get the tackle up?
Because Sam's looked innocuous as fuck, really.
Oh yeah.
See, I can.
Fuck,
That's just
bad.
that's just.
Oh,
Thank
poor
you.
Cheese.
Said enough.
Yeah, that's enough. Stop
Said
it.
enough.
Stop it.
Thank you very much.
Fuck, dude. That's
It's
hectic.
just you wouldn't want to be a Roosters fan. Lucky I hate the Chooks, but
Yeah, but not the players. We love Cheese.
Certainly not. I fucking feel devastated for Cheese and for Sam.
Yeah.
But
also,
they have
4 Roosters, and
they've had
to
a
some
good-
degree.
They've had a good year. They've had a really good year, and they were peaking, and not peaking, but you could just see them throwing punches in finals.
Did anyone watch this game? Because I was being celebrated as a father, so I couldn't get too many eyes on it.
I was half watching, yeah.
Did the Roosters go to shit? Did these injuries happen early? Because they lost. They ended up losing to the fucking Raiders.
I think Walker's might have been in the
Walker's was pretty
late
early.
first half.
Okay.
Walker's was early, but they didn't look very good.
No.
Is the reporting that came across
Before-
my desk.
Walker
before
was
the-
12 minutes in.
Okay.
Brandon
All right.
Smith was 37 minutes in.
Okay, so first half.
Natty Butch was 62 minutes.
Natty Butch, what did he do?
HIA, he got concussed.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Head
Okay,
knock.
so they got fucking pumped.
There was 2 periods in the game where Whitehead was in the sin bin though, and the Roosters failed to score in both, and it both proved pretty close.
Yeah, well, dude, Elliot Whitehead kind of looked like he was a bit all. Did he get Simbin for the hip drop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he fucking Crichton's holding the ball and he kicks his foot out to try and kick it out of Crichton's hand. Elliot Whitehead was all over the place. But then did you see he went to check on Cheese after the game, and Robbo was told him to fuck off basically. And they talk about it in the press up. We need some vol here, Togs.
Obviously, I didn't mean to do Brandon. I know he's come up with a bad injury and stuff, and I'm sorry to him for that. Obviously, I just wasn't happy the way I went over to ask about Brandon, and Trent Robinson's had a go at me. I went to apologise, and he's turned on me. So, the way he done that, I thought that were out of order. I don't know what he said in his media if he's done it before yet. But yeah, look, I'm sorry to Brandon, and the other one, I'm not sure if you lot know the rules or I don't know the rules. I just tried stopping an offload. I didn't strike in any malice way, but yeah, whatever. I don't care.
He came up and just wanted to ask how Brandon was, and I just sort of said it's too many times. The hip drop's been pretty common in his game for a long time, and I just said it's too many times. It's cost us a player. That was it. He said it was an accident. I just said, look, you've done it too many times. That was it. Yeah, it's been pretty common. If you go and have a look, it's not, I like Elliot, I've watched him since he was in Bradford and Catalans and, but it's been pretty common, and that was what I said. I know he's opened it up here, which is why we're talking about it. And I wouldn't usually want to talk to you guys about it, but he opened it up, and it's been really common in his game his whole career.
It's interesting.
Interesting.
I love it. But
I see you just got to open more of this shit up. More of this shit needs to be opened up.
as in these sort of combos.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This needs to be opened up. Now, Robbo doesn't like talking about that usually, but it's been opened up, so I'm talking about it.
So now we got
Common in his game. I didn't know that. Now I'm interested.
Well,
I'm intrigued.
I need.
Am I going to do the research? No, I'm not.
If you're going to say it's common in his game, now we need you to fucking
Well, I
show
need
me.
someone to.
I need someone to go do that.
I won't
Punters
do
and
it.
dribblers. No, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, someone at Fox Sports has done that. And so since the start of the 2022 season, White has been charged 3 times for tackles deemed to have hip drop mechanics.
From which year? From which season?
2022.
So it's not heaps.
Charged with 3. Now, I think Robbo, who watches a lot of tape, may be suggesting
There's some more opportunities for me to charge.
that he's got hip drop in his game.
Do you think there is an element of?
I also don't know what a hip drop is.
Well, it's always a bit confusing. That looked like
I
that looked like a
can
hip
tell
drop.
when some are. I'm like, that's a hip drop, and then others, I'm like, I don't know.
Is it a bit hypocritical? And I'm merely positing questions here as opposed to giving my opinion
Well, you're positing questions.
in a court of law. Is it hypocritical for one Trent Robinson to be so frustrated by something he sees in someone's game when, say, like a Jared Warrior-Hargraves is fucking head-high tackling people every second game?
And Victor the Inflictor.
And Victor the Inflictor of inflicting.
loves a sin bin fame. Listen.
Or is it more that...
At that level, right, he's a fucking... Everyone sucks him from the back, Trent Robinson. He's a player-first coach, you know what I mean? He's just sticking up for his boys. And... he's got the rose-coloured glasses on. Not rose. He's got the I hate Elliot glasses on.
Yes.
And he sees what he wants to see. And he sees a man hip-dropping too often. And in his opinion, it's cost him a player.
Well, not nearly.
Well, it's not
100%
opinion.
has.
It's 100% has. So I get it. If put it this way, he's been charged 3 times in 3 seasons, which is too much for Trent.
Yeah. Well, especially if there's tape where he could have been charged more.
And I can sympathise with that. I can. Yeah, you can be like, there's irony to your words, Trent, for sure. But
there also doesn't necessarily mean you can't
But he's
comment.
just looking at this one thing.
Yes.
Is he got a bit of a hip drop about him? Yeah, he does. So
Yeah.
that's why he's pissed off. I can sympathise with that.
I can sympathise.
Particularly when he's lost fucking 3 men, 4 men in a game, 2 to ACLs, 9-month recoveries, missing the first half of next year, and they were in the top 4, ready to make a finals crack.
they were
Where every
second,
other
right?
year for the last 5 years, they've limped the fuck in and they get
Yeah.
pounded week 1. You'd be absolutely ropeable.
Yeah, you would. And now you're like, what the fuck do they do? What do the Roosters do? So what you have? I mean, Keary goes to 7. This is almost got to be Keary's crowning glory if he can pull something out of his pee hole here. He's already won 3 comps. Don't get me wrong, but
if he was to do this,
if he was to lead this,
if he was to lead them to a prem, unlikely, then you start to put Keary into a different
box.
Yes.
But then so Cheese is gone. Obviously, that's big. Connor Watson in at 9. You would assume. Sandon Smith into 5'8". Is Suoliti back this season? He's back in the centres. Victor the Inflictor is probably not going to miss any games.
Needle him up. Losing your 7's just big. It's just big.
Speaking of hip drops as well, Bronson Cherry of hip dropping our boy Sabi, he's getting suspended. Sucked in.
I wanted to talk, Tom, as well. You and I haven't discussed this, but just the absolute class of one Tom Trbojevic.
Yeah.
Going to the club and just saying, listen, I know that I've missed a lot of football for this great club.
Yep.
A club that's given me everything.
Yep.
And I want to repay the faith.
Yeah.
By taking one of the great pay cuts of all time.
Yeah, he's rugby league's mother.
Circa
Teresa.
350 over the next 2 years.
750.
750, 375 per season. That's a lot of cheddar.
Yeah, dude. He's rugby league's Mother Teresa without all of the stuff that Mother Teresa's criticised for.
Fuck Mother Teresa. He's Tom Trbojevic,
Yes.
the greatest.
No,
Best in
listen,
class.
you don't need to say fuck Mother Teresa. I don't know.
I'm saying we're talking Tommy here.
Yeah.
We're not talking Mother Teresa.
No, we're not.
So she can fuck off for now.
Okay.
I'm not saying her for generally. I'm saying in this conversation.
Listen, as I said on Bloke and a Bar, apparently skeletons, but who doesn't?
Well, not everyone.
Not everyone. True. Tommy doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
He has no skeletons.
Tommy's skeleton would be once he didn't give someone enough onion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, sorry, mate, I asked for barbecue sauce and mustard, and you only gave me barbecue sauce. Like, that's his skeleton.
Or like he was self-service checkouting and realised that two things were stuck together. He only scanned one of them.
He put a red onion through as a brown.
Yeah.
And he's ripped woolies off fucking 7 cents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're his skeletons.
Even though they're profiting billions.
Yeah. And ripping off the punter.
And ripping
the
off the punter and the
with
dribbler.
monopolistic
tactics
where they just squeeze the consumer and they squeeze the supplier. Shout out to Aussie Milk. There's no skeletons, and if there are, they're very small. They're minuscule.
Yeah.
But
They're cute skeletons.
I'm actually a little bit off the NRL, to be honest. Why can't a one club man, born and raised in the area,
son of tomato farmer,
son of tomato farmer, grandson of the official TFU member, who is born, reared, and wants to repay the peninsula, allowed to take a pay cut. I know it's not market, but this is a different fucking kettle of fish.
Yeah,
this is a loyalty thing.
The problem is that they're saying that money would then go back into the salary cap to buy throbbers, right?
Well, go and get your own loyal fucking player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get your own, go foster your own talent, keep them loyal, okay? Penrith can't do it. They all want to fuck off.
Yeah.
Stiff shit. If you don't have loyal cats, that's your problem.
It's your problem.
We do. We should be rewarded for that. Not penalised, not punished.
Yeah.
All right? We should be fucking pat on the back. All everyone wants to do is go, oh, I want to go back to the glory days when everyone fucking was loyal and no one ran around for money. Well, we've got a bloke here doing that, and you won't let him.
You won't let him do it.
So what is it? You want us to be greedy, fat piglets, or do you want us to be loyal? Because you're not being rewarded for being loyal.
See, now, I think that there's a way. Let's just say that there's no way around the NRL's. You will not be able to put this Tommy cash towards salary cap. Okay, sure. We can't go and buy a player with Tommy's cash, which is upsetting. As I said, how can we spend this money better? What can we do? Where can we put this money to good use? First thing that comes to mind in my brain, Edward, is onions at Mona Vale football games. What was it that fucking bred the Trebojevic brothers? It was the Mona Vale Raiders tuck shop.
Yep.
Killer pythons.
Yep.
Onions.
Red frogs.
Milkos. Probably a chalky move or an oak.
Probably.
Do you know what I mean?
Come on, bro.
So, let's just put it all 100%.
What about this? Back into grassroots footy.
Yeah. But
in the peninsula, in the form of onions.
If it just so happens that we are paying, say, David Fafita $750,000 to also work at the Mona Vale Raiders on the weekend, what's wrong with that? That's outside the cap. Do you know what I mean? If we are picking up a back rower of note from somewhere around the league.
Barbecue fund. 750,000 goes into the barbecue. Well, no. It goes into the barbecue fund. What's the barbecue fund for? The barbecue fund is to pay volunteers to work tuck shops.
Yeah.
Now, just so happens that the only person getting paid, because they are volunteers, is David Fafita.
Yeah.
Or
Payne Haas.
He's efficient.
Yeah.
No one cuts onions like that, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I get it. I think that makes sense. And I would implore the NRL to just to at least entertain our idea.
Yep.
Because from my perspective, there is no reward for loyalty, and it's wrong. It's all wrong.
David Riccio of David Riccio fame, the journo.
I was going to say the journo, yeah.
He wants to go back to match payments. Now,
This is just...
No. So what he thinks could work is if Tom Trbojevic is on a $1.15 million contract with the mighty Manly Seagulls, he's on 800...
Prior to the Peninsula.
Prior to the league. He's on 850, say, base, or 815 base. And then that's guaranteed money, and then he's paid paid per game played to get him up to that 115. It then allows players to be rewarded for good form, doing what they should be doing. Protects clubs a little bit if players are fucking injured. I didn't hate it.
I was laughing originally.
You were.
I'm not laughing anymore.
No, you're not.
I think you can tell from my demeanour.
Yeah.
I like it, Riccio. I like it. It frees up cash. But do you get it? Would they get it who've got salary cap compensation from the NRL when at any point during these injury layoffs?
I don't think that you can just get it for a player being injured.
It seems to be.
I think sometimes you
can get it, though.
I think sometimes you can get it when it's like we can't field a team. Like the Dogs last year had like 600 players out, and it was like we can't actually we need dispensation, but it wasn't to buy; it was to like get someone from outside the top 30 to
So
play.
generally speaking, you don't get.
I don't think so.
Compensation.
I
for
don't
that.
think so.
Well, that gives a lot of weight and a lot of merit to the match payment thing.
Now, I don't know whether it's like, is that good for players or not? I don't know. I mean, it's not, but it is.
Well,
you could argue.
I think that the only people fighting for that sort of or accepting that sort of setup would be Tom Trbojevic. You'd be mad as a cut snake to take that if you're a player, because otherwise, if you get injured, you're fucked.
Well, you are, but you're sort of not. It's more like you go. Maybe
you are though.
Well, no, but you could go. I'm agreeing to my base would be higher, so it's like I'm agreeing whether. Do you know what I mean? So you go, yeah, righto, but I'm accepting $800,000. I'm only doing that if
but if you let's say you're $1 million player, and you get a base of 800, you're leaving money out there. You're fucking yourself. And the alternative, the flip side is I'm $1 million paid, and I get $1 million, and then I get match payment on top. It throws out the salary cap. You're just not going to do it. It's like I want this money. I want this money guaranteed. Yeah. It's like a contract. I don't care if you.
Do they do it in the NFL? And there's like guaranteed money, and then money you can. I feel like there's something like that.
Oh yeah, I think potentially yeah.
So I mean, maybe you can still do it. It would just change the.
But that would be, I think.
It'd eventually find
I think
its
guaranteed
level.
money would be more. And I'm spitballing here, the idea that if we don't like what you're doing, we're going to fuck you off.
Yeah, right.
As opposed to an injury thing.
It's also way easier to fuck people off in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like it's not.
I mean, their contracts would still need to be paid out.
For sure. But it's, I guess more so what I mean is it's as a sport, it's way more like transient. Just fucking.
But I think I speak for all punters and all dribblers when I say that if you don't go for Manly, you're all jealous as fuck when you read that.
Yeah.
You're like, God, I'd pay. God, I'd want a player of that sort of substance, that sort of character playing for my club.
Who just loves the club that much? No one. You don't have a single person at your clubs that loves their clubs that much. No one.
No one.
No one. Panthers, fucking Rabbitohs, nothing game except for Tyron Munro, their winger. Do you hear about him? The Rabbitohs winger lost his mum and his uncle last week. Played and scored 2 tries.
It's devastating.
But
then that's nice.
You know what I mean? Like that's a lift and a half, isn't it?
It's huge.
There's not much else to really.
He almost had a hat trick as well, but the forward pass that was called was pretty flat.
The Bunnies been the most disappointing side this year.
No, Parramatta, but Bunnies have been disappointing.
But just in terms of
what you could have expected.
What you could have expected? Do you think
they've been pretty bad?
The Eels have been obviously the Eels are heading into a spoon bowl this Friday against the Tigers. I didn't see that happening. Mitch Moses has missed quite a bit of footy.
They've had some injuries. Trell's been out. Fucking Murray's been out. Let's go
True.
to.
I just feel like, but they started like shit. You've got to remember that.
Yeah, I know, but they also suck. They started like shit. We expected more from them. It was all like, oh, fuck, they got Jack White. And I feel like we didn't truly realise how shit their forward pack was. With respect, not shit, but
there were signs.
Lacking.
But like, you eyeball that pack.
Now you do. Maybe it's the beauty of hindsight.
But you eyeball that. Like, I had a couple any times this year based on some members of the pack.
Was absurd. That was.
And I just having eyeballed, because when you're on it any time, you eyeball, and you haven't eyeballed that man. I was like,
listen, that man seems like a great man, but I think you can turn on a Rabbitohs game at any point, and he's probably just dropped a ball.
And you just think to yourself, that's a starting prop. Don't know.
Yeah.
Just don't know.
Now, Dragons have...
Mate, the Dragons scored 34 points in 30 minutes.
Yeah, they scored, look at this, 69, 72, 76, 77, 79. Can you imagine being a young Hamish Street watching this at the pub and watching the Dragons run down your side? He was
were you with him?
No. I caught up with him afterwards and he was like, bro, he looked like he'd, like when he's like laying there, he needed like a cigarette and like a lie down. It was like he was sweating. But it's the most points scored for a loss. So, like, no team scored more points and not won the game. 84 points are scored. You see
no one in the history
of first grade, I don't believe, yeah.
of first grade rugby league. Back to 1908.
Something like that.
Jesus.
Something like that.
Sounds like an NRL stat as opposed to a first grade stat, but anyway.
Well, listen, I'm not going to do the research to find that out. I glanced at it. But when you're a Dragons fan and you're like, we just need a win here, and I think we almost lock up a final spot.
And you roll out that, a 44, you concede 44 points to the last placed Eels.
But look at it.
In first grade history.
First grade history.
My God.
3rd minute, 8 minutes, 22nd minute, 30th minute, 36th minute, 40th minute, 43rd, like, just
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tries they let in.
Yeah.
You're eighth. You're going to play finals footy. You're eighth.
Well, now they're fucked. Are they out now?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's Knights versus Dragons for 8th.
No, because then there's the Dolphins.
Wait, no, sorry, Dolphins versus Knights for 8th. Yeah, Dragons. They need, like, the Dolphins and the Knights to draw, and then they win, similar to the Broncos.
So they can only
fucked.
get through with a draw? Is that it? Only get through with a draw?
Yeah.
So they're fucked. They've fucked it. It's all over.
Yeah,
It's not
the points
gonna be a draw. It's not
differential
going to be a draw.
sucks.
No, of course it's going to be a draw, but, like,
They've fucked it.
Just Dolphins, Knights, Dragons, and Raiders are all on 28 points, but the Dolphins have the best points differential, followed by the Knights, and then Dragons and Raiders are pretty fucked.
But if you're conceding 44 points, 9 tries to the last placed Eels, that implies effort, does it not?
especially when you've got everything to play for.
Does it not imply
You've
effort?
got everything to play for. Flano, like, literally apologised.
He would be
He apologised in the post-match press conference.
apocalyptic.
There was video footage of him ripping Ben Hunt in the sheds, like up in his fucking face, ripping him. He came out and apologised to the fans, the sponsors.
Well, you have to. It's a fucking shit show.
Yeah, it's disgraceful.
Max Downs, friend of the show, was about to buy St. George Dragons car seat covers for his ute if they made the finals. He's had to cancel the order. That's how big of a bed shit.
Fucking, he's almost early Croydon, dude.
Almost.
He's almost early Croydon there. And listen, your team's not good enough for that to happen, Max, so that's all right. As in, not good enough for you to early Croydon.
Like, it's an absolute disaster that cannot be glossed over. 9 tries. You've been sitting there going, what in the fuck is going on? This was supposed to be a procession.
Yeah.
God knows what the line was.
I think, well, the Eels were not favourites, that's for damn sure.
No, but I don't think...
You'd be able to find it in our about
Surely
even
double
sheet.
digits. Surely.
You'd probably find it in the sheet, huh?
2.5
The line was 2.5.
when we were doing the show
Fuck me, they look
last
how
Wednesday.
How in the fuck was it 2.5?
In an
Because I put
84-point
those in
game.
without even reading it. That reeks of me. Like, the Eels are last. The Dragons trying to play finals. That reeks of...
because the Eels haven't been going too bad against good teams. Like, they almost beat Penrith. They almost beat the Storm, was it or something? I don't know, but...
Good teams is... Now you're being generous.
I'm saying that they have been playing well against good teams.
And I'm now saying...
Now...
Based on what we've seen, I'm not giving them good team status. I just
No,
can't.
I'm not saying they're a good team, you fucking idiot. But... Listen, this game was a disaster for all concerned. Because you could have been happy as an Eels fan, but then you let them score 5 tries in 6 minutes or something. You're like, okay, so also, I'm not happy anymore. I'm not happy to score 44 points and then have the team score 40. That just screams of 2 horseshit rugby league teams.
So are they now above the Tigers? What's the lay of the land now?
Yes.
They
Tigers
are
need to
on
win.
Same
Points
amount of
difference.
points, but Eels have better points differentials.
Okay.
Tigers need to win. This is a TBC,
which
punters
was gonna
and dribblers,
be the
but we
same,
will be
Yeah,
doing...
that result didn't matter.
Didn't
It
change.
was
it.
spoon
Spoon Bowl
bowl
was
goals.
locked in
Yeah.
after last week.
Yes. We are pretty much guaranteed to be doing the stream this week. Will be for the Spoon Bowl. Cody, Street, and myself. Eddie away.
Brothers wedding.
Street said he's keen.
Don't Masood me.
No, don't Masood Eddie. Street said he was keen, so we'll look to lock that in, but that'll be funny as fuck. Good luck to all concerned there. I'm going to be honest, 2 teams I don't like, so I don't mind that they both embarrass themselves, and I don't mind that the result ends the Dragons season. Can we move to
Surely the
next game?
Tigers lose.
No, do we want Tigers to win?
But I'm just saying, surely
It'll probably be a draw or something.
No, dude.
yeah. That'd be so.
draw.
That'd be so dribbly. 3-3
Dude,
draw.
Broncos again, all to play for. Kevy Walters in the bloody post-game pressers. He's like, we're still going to make the finals. Guaranteed, we're going to make the finals.
No one gets a team up like Wayne Bennett. The
Bro.
Dolphins have been all over the map.
And
All
then they
over
just-
the map the last couple of months.
But also the tactical nous of this cunt, where he before the game, he goes, we're going to move Isaiah Katoa to the bench. I'm moving Jake Avarillo into the halves. I'm moving Hammer from fullback into bloody... into the centres, and then moving Herbie to the other side. And you're just like, wait, what are you doing? Like, what the fuck's going on here? And then it just works.
40-6. That is a biblical humping.
Yeah, it is.
And they go to 8th.
And they
They're
go
in
to
8th
8th.
now. They're in 8th currently.
Yep. And playing the Knights.
Just gets them up, dude.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's good that
what
there's
that
this
man's
much
capable of. It's
good
fucking
that there's this
unbelievable.
much battle for the top 8 still. Because a lot of the years you'll get fucking...
Well, usually you'll get a big separation.
Yeah.
We've had that in the past. Maybe 9th will hang on, and then 10th is out the arse. It's good.
It's real good.
Good to see, mate. Tight league.
But I
Healthy
didn't
league.
watch much of this game, but just the Broncos stink.
Love to see the Broncos smelling up the joint.
Yep.
It's just good for the soul.
Dude.
Now, I took Warriors at $5.
Oh.
Took the Warriors at $5. I thought, fuck it. That's a price. Also, the stat that Rando threw out, they'd never lost on the 31st of August in the history of the club. I'm like, hook that to my veins. That's a stat I can get around. That's a stat.
It's a good bet.
You don't lose, 6, 7, 8 games on 31st of August? You saddle up, baby, and you ride.
Sibian style.
Fuck yeah, jump on.
That was
Wet up.
But for SJ's final play to be that
beautiful
2-man
stuff.
cutout for Dallin.
Oh, no.
Shout out to the Warriors for that collab video you put up with us.
Very much
that was
appreciated.
funny.
Very nice touch.
That was funny as fuck.
It's good stuff. It was just good stuff.
Divine seed stuff. Dude.
Oh, look at him. He just
Just
give me the
divine
seed.
seed.
Give me the seed.
Divine
Yes.
seed. And they're in. I do just wingers and jamming in like the game's on the line.
The old
like,
left to right as
what
well,
are you
Tom.
doing? But just the wingers, like,
Hard to throw.
what are you doing? Not if you're a professional footballer, it's not.
Well, hard to throw. Mate.
No. I refuse to accept that. Look at this ball from SJ, baby. Bang. Again, Dallin scored twice. How are you not fucking on your winger?
Well, because they just like jam, bro.
I know.
They like jam. Simple.
And how about the puffer? Them just hooking puffers.
Well, they've obviously they've all got asthma.
Are you on the Hello Sport Instagram there, Tobler? Yeah. Can you go into the DMs? So obviously they're all puffing. You can find Ronnie Blakey. He's on the centre of these videos. So obviously there's the puffer video where there's a few players just passing around the puffer. Now, some people are saying they're cheating and shit. I don't think that's the case.
How can you cheat with a puffer?
Well, I think the argument was like there's some sort of steroid.
Oh, for fuck's
No, but just like as in some sports you can't do it. Greg Hardy in the UFC, that big fucking former NFL
what's
player.
the advantage?
It opens up your airways, I think. Anyway, but he got on the stool in between rounds and starts hammering a puffer, and the commentators are like, that's illegal. You can't do that. And then he got disqualified.
Banging one in between rounds seems like a bit much.
Well, it's the same shit. You're doing it before a game, you're doing it in between rounds. But whatever, you can have prescription. If you've got a prescription in rugby league, I think you're all good. It was just a funny video more than anything.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
But the other one was Sean Johnson housing Vix up the schnoz. Look at this.
Big Vic
He's getting to work, bro.
Clean out the schnoz. Oh, fuck yeah.
I'm like, if you're trying to, are you trying to clean the nose? Or like, as in you trying to clear the airways? Because putting that much Vicks in there feels like you're clogging it.
Well, it's obviously just jacking him the fuck up.
Ronnie made a good point. He goes, mate, how do you know he's not actually just housing boogers in that Tupperware, in that little tub, as opposed to...
As in what he's
actually removing boogers and keeping them.
He's keeping them.
Yeah.
His booger collection.
Which is disgusting and makes you feel sick, but it could be. And it also, as I said to Ronnie, it exemplifies the importance of a second set of eyes on any situation, because I saw that as just Vicks in the nose.
Yeah.
Whereas
Well, there's the reasonable doubt.
there's definitely reasonable.
If you're
doubt.
trying to convict him of putting too much Vicks up the nostrils, in a court of law with a great defence attorney, you could argue he's keeping boogers for a rainy day.
I would be his defence attorney because I was going in to defend Latrell. Many people remarked that they would like me as their defence attorney after I defended Trell on this podcast. Between you two fucks.
Yeah, so
I'd have to go and defend SJ here.
But the thing is, you haven't come up with that wily counter.
It's all right. That's my co-counsel, Ronnie Blakey. He's come up with it, and now I can go in and defend it. It's just about reasonable doubt. Have you seen that fucking show yet?
Oh, yeah.
All of it?
Oh, yeah.
Presumed innocent?
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
I've, huge... What's his name?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Huge Jake Gyllenhaal guy. I just am. I like his tempo. I like his cadence.
He's a great actor.
He's a fucking great actor. And he's hot as shit. And he's jacked as fuck. And he's fucking glorious. And he's fucking gorgeous.
And he looks heaps like me, is what you're going to say. Is what yes.
Less and less. Less and less. He is a fucking good actor.
Yeah, he is. Really good. And that show did such a good job of just
really
keeping
good
me
cinematography as well.
great. The court scenes.
Just nice lighting.
But when they're like arriving to and from court, and it's like pissing with rain and those top-down shots.
Oh,
and
fuck
like,
yeah.
That was.
Oh, yeah.
We won't give away the outcome
Great.
of the show. Who done it?
Great show.
But like, had you not knowing who the killer was to the end, it was misdirection.
And it was misdirected me all over the place because I'd seen a show. Have you seen
Nicole
the one? Nicole Kidman?
Yeah.
I'm like, is that this?
Yes.
Is that this?
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
And then Ella's like, nah, but that Nicole
you
Kidman
couldn't.
show, they couldn't. I'm like, they could.
Jeff Athletic, Josh, he picked the killer in the first episode.
See, I didn't.
That's
couldn't.
crazy. And I know a lot of people that have watched that show, and he's the only one I've heard that picked it in the first episode.
He goes, bro, I picked it first episode, and then my
Did he
missus
pick
was like,
everyone? Did he go, yep, and then just like, or did he, that's it.
That's
the only
not
person.
really picking everyone. That's not picking them.
Well, hang on. As in like,
He goes, in the first episode, actually, I think he fucking almost ruined it for his wife. He's like, that's the killer. And then at the end of it, she's like, how the fuck do you know that? He's just like,
had he seen it?
No.
Or he's just tapped into it?
His whole thing is like, who done it? Who like that? The whole thing's a who done it. So you're gonna meet the fucking killer in the first episode, and they're gonna do their best to make it not look like the person you think.
I didn't
think about that at all.
I also wasn't prepared, again, because of the Nicole Kidman show, I wasn't necessarily prepared for like a crazy whodunit. More just we're going to fuck with you here throughout the legal process, get you thinking one thing and another thing, and then this is going to be...
Something will reveal itself.
Yes, as opposed to like
full misdirection.
Yes.
Yes.
We've probably given something away.
No, we haven't. We haven't really. But it was maybe. But it's a great show.
Great acting.
Great acting.
Tell you whose voice I really like? His attorneys.
Gyllenhaal's attorney.
Yes.
I tell you whose voice I almost couldn't stand.
Really deep and like...
Husky.
Rough.
But the one that I didn't like was the Chief Justice.
Yeah, but I also...
He was so...
I like
I actually sort of liked it in a weird way.
Yes.
I was like, I couldn't really... I'm like, do I like this or do I not?
I liked it because of how fucking weird it was, and it almost added to the show somehow,
Yeah.
the vibe of the show.
Yeah.
He was just this weird guy who's like, they really opened his eyes.
Yeah,
and
see
it's
that, Tommy,
right there?
See that, Tommy, that
concerns me. That concerns me, Tommy.
Seal, teal or seal, whatever the
Yeah.
fuck word he was.
And Tommy was great. Tommy Massetti.
Tommy
Tommy
was
was good.
fucking...
Great
Tommy
acting.
Caldwell?
No,
Caldwell?
Tommy Massetti or something.
Tommy Caldwell.
No, I don't think so.
Tommy Malto. Tommy Malto.
Caldwell. Fucking hell, I'm all over the map. He was terrific.
Yeah.
He
Great
was
show.
terrific.
Great show. Presumed
Really
innocent.
good show. Couple of pauses needed, but that's okay.
Well, that's good because that's bringing me to my next thing I want to watch with you. About just speaking of pausing. Do you see Freddy Fittler's fucking thing with the foxes?
Can I be honest with you? I read Kiss Cam mentioned. I saw it was Freddy with the two sisters, and I go, I'm not watching that.
Yeah.
I go, I'm not watching that.
Well, we're
There's
about to
no,
watch
I
it.
can't.
now.
Well, I'm going to have to now, obviously.
Yeah.
But
no, I have only glanced at it because for the same reason, I'm like, fuck, this is so uncomfortable.
It's pretty brutal. Just like,
Yeah, cringe.
We'll get ready to pause it.
I'm just waiting for Kiss Cam to come on.
Look at
It's
Jess.
not happening.
Oh,
Do you like it? The environment here. Do you like the footy? Yes, we're on. Yeah, we're live.
Well,
Yeah, I love the footy. Honestly,
the worst thing is when he doubles down with the on me. Like, he says the first comment and it's like, oh, bro, what are you doing? And then he backs it up.
yeah. Oh, my That was tough. That was
I'm
tough.
just waiting for Kiss Cam to come on. On me. It's not happening. Do you like it? The
and then he
environment
goes,
here,
"Do you
the
like
footy?"
it?"
Yes,
Well,
we're
no,
on.
he's talking about the.
We're live.
No, but he hasn't given enough space
No, I
to
know.
let it breathe.
I know. I know.
He's gone, I'm waiting for Kiss Cam on me, and then gone, "Do you like it?" And she goes, "What?" And then he leans in and
Yeah.
goes, "Do you like the atmosphere?" She's like, all at
Are
sea,
we
like, what the
live?
fuck are
What
we
the
talking
fuck are we
about?
talking about? It's and Jess looking around, Jess just being like, "Oh, this is uncomfortable." Now, some people I think are a little overreacting a little bit here. Like I do think it was just dumb. It was dumb. It was Freddy being a thick shit. It wasn't a good idea to say it. It wasn't that bad, but I also don't think it was like, this is fucking misogyny, fucking disgraceful. Like, it's not that. Let's calm the fuck down.
I can see where people of that bent would take
Of
it.
course I can see it, but I'm like, relax, guys. It's just a shit fucking joke. He's trying to be funny, and it's not funny.
That is straight out of the fucking I played footy in the 90s playbook. I'm with two like attractive women. Oh, what's
Yeah.
a funny joke?
Yeah, dumb.
That's what that is.
It's just dumb. It's not funny.
It's dumb as dog shit.
And the reactions from them were perfect. Awkward. Imperfect in the sense that you go like, yeah, that's how, like I'm almost happy they reacted that way rather than them like being like, like, nah, this is just a shit joke. Sorry, Freddie. Like I'm not.
Sorry, Freddie. Like, is Freddie wigging about that, or does Freddie just carry on with his life?
I think Freddie was wigging about it then. Channel 9 came out and were like, it's all good. It was a fucking... They came out and said Freddie was just talking about himself, not about the girls. That's obviously bullshit. But they're just like, whatever. They're like, no offense.
It's
taken.
just it makes Freddie look stupid. That's all it is.
That's all it is. And almost...
And you know, it made the people awkward, like me, who wanted to pause the fuck out of that.
Yeah.
Because that was tough.
That was a real tough watch. And it got so awkward. And they just were like...
Look at Naomi. She's like, oh my God.
Dude, look at Jess just looking the other way like, not even like holding the
Are
microphone.
we live? What are we?
What's
going on here?
here? Freddie.
Oh, that's just tough.
Come on, Freddie.
The kiss cam into the on me, into the...
You like it?
Do you like it? What? Do you like it? Leaning in, having to say it again. Just a shit show. No beat in between.
No.
Beatless. It's just from bush. It's a shit show from top to bottom.
Once the kiss cam joke didn't land, you needed to take a moment, a pause, or you acknowledged that was like, well, okay, that was it. And then go into, anyway, how about the atmosphere here?
Yes.
Don't say, do you like it,
No,
without clarifying what you're even fucking talking about straight off the back of a poor kiss cam reference.
Do you like it? Because now it's like,
do I like kiss camming?
do I like that idea?
Yeah,
'Cause that's what it sounds like. That's thus the what.
Yeah.
And then you needed to lean in and explain that you're going, do you like the atmosphere here at Penrith Stadium?
Also, production team, they should know they're on air. They're like, are we fucking live? Like, what's going on in there? Yeah.
Well, it's just his laid back tempo.
Well,
Fred.
but I'm saying whether Freddie or whether there's producers behind the camera being like, we're on.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's a good point. It's a good point. That's bad. That's a shocker.
Shocker. Not disgraceful like I feel like some people are saying, just really lame.
Yeah, but I mean, people. That's people, mate.
Oh, no, that's exactly right. It is people. Fucking cringy, though. Like, cringe.
Oh, that's a tough carry, that.
Yeah.
You'd fucking get secrets out of me if you made me watch that 50 times.
Oh, yeah, just the Tigers, who obviously didn't play on the weekend. You're getting fucking upset.
I just don't know what you're going to say.
The fact that you guys are one game away from not winning the spoon, just need everything to go well. we've got a week off. Let's stay out of the fucking headlines. Let's just keep all this shit together, right? Let's just focus on the job at hand, which is beating Para and not winning the Spoon.
Yep.
And they've got some old bloke from the Balmain faction who's like, oh, yeah, no, we want to fucking leave. Balmain want to go out on their own. It's like, listen, dude, Balmain has no money, nor do they even have a clubhouse.
And they don't have any juniors.
And
if anyone's staying, it's not you.
Not you.
What are we talking about?
It's West.
West have got a fucking shitload of money. They've got a junior system. They've got the fucking massive leagues club out there. They've got massive amounts of money, and they've got the fastest growing area in the country.
Yeah.
Southwest Sydney's fucking massive. What are you talking about, you dumb dribbler? Balmain's done.
Done.
You're hanging on by the skin of your sack,
You're
mate.
lucky to be involved. Steve.
What are you talking? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, mate?
Balmain only owned 10%.
Balmain's not a club, mate. You are lucky to be called the Tigers.
Yeah. They don't even have like New South Wales Cup team. Like you couldn't afford to do shit.
How do you feel about that?
I thought, Tom, the video you posted on Friday was like perfect. It's like, what are we doing, dude? And then the Batuta Advocate like had a good post as well. It was like a what's it called? A gentrified suburb with no money is like trying to, you know what I mean? Like
Trying to swing their rugby league dick. It's like, guys, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
It kind of gives you maybe a little insight into the frictions going on. Like, obviously, there's friction, but you're like, it's so dumb for Balmain to even be thinking about trying to go out on their own, that maybe it's an indicator of to like how dumb this shit is. That like who are the like the stupidity you're having to deal with as Wests are having to deal with.
I think that's pretty accurate. It's a real insight into what is almost delusion.
Mm.
It's not about you and what you think, old Balmain player. Like it's about the club right now trying to avoid a spoon. They're third in a row, I believe.
Yeah. Let's row in the same direction.
Row in the same direction. And also, just so we're clear, if you want to separate, you don't exist anymore. Yep. Like that's the agreement. They're the conditions here.
Yes.
You don't separate and become Balmain. You separate and you die. That's it.
You exist because of us, not in spite of us. The only way.
How is this not clear? How is this not clear?
You're like one of those fish that sucks onto a shark and it just fucking cruises along under it. Wests of the shark.
What the fuck are we talking about?
You're a parasite on a magpie's feather.
Read the room, mate. It's crazy. Who is this fucker that came out saying this?
Is he part of the Balmain part of the faction?
Or did he play for Balmain in the 70s?
He's Balmain director.
Yeah. No, so this is the director of Balmain.
Oh, so this guy
was a high up guy.
But then one of the Balmain chairmen, Danny Stapleton, came out and was like, no, we're not looking to do that.
Yeah,
So
I don't
they're
think
all
there's
over
anyone
the
that's
map.
actually part of the the West Tigers merger from
He's
the
not
board or
fucking-
anything.
No,
It was
he's the.
But he's from, isn't he just
Oh,
from
no, but
like,
he's not necessarily part of the merger.
yeah.
How's that possible? If you're the Balmain, you've got Balmain and West merge. He's the director of Balmain.
Is that it? Is that what it is? Or is this
Balmain
like
director.
Yeah, true. I
Okay,
suppose.
yeah,
I more
yeah.
just meant like on the board or anything like.
Well, but he'd
He'd have to be.
have
He's
to
the
be on the
director
board.
of
Yeah, okay.
Balmain.
I think Balmain's got
They got like 2 seats.
2
or some
seats,
shit.
yeah. But they've got some weird voting power where they can like fucking veto shit.
Yeah. But then to just have someone who's also on your side of the faction come out like 2 days later and be like, nah. Like, what are we doing? What are you guys doing?
You're obviously not talking to each other.
No one it's just like, just shut
And
the
Danny DeVito, he fucking reads the room. He knows what's up. Whoever the fuck that guy was.
Danny DeVito?
Danny, whoever.
Oh, Gary Leo.
I heard Danny DeVito.
Yeah, Stapleton's the member of the board. So he's the guy who's come out and been like, no.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, just
So
one of the
who's on the
chairmen.
board? Stapleton?
Stapleton, one
Not
of the
DeVito,
chairmen.
who's the guy
So who's the other board member?
The other board members, there's Dave Gilbert from the Holman Barnes faction, and I don't know who the Western Suburbs one is based off this article.
Shit show, though. Shit show stuff. And like, were you frustrated when you saw that? You're like, oh.
Like,
Shut the
yeah,
fuck up.
it just my reaction was probably the same as yours. It's like I don't think it's anything serious. I think it's just dribble. To be
The
honest.
Western Suburbs faction must just go,
What are we doing?
what are we doing here?
Get us out of this.
Surely they start throwing their dick around at some point. I don't know what. It'd be so interesting to see how it works.
Yeah. Well,
legally
listen,
and
I saw someone else say as well. They go,
structurally.
geez, they were like Balmain. No, well, the West Tigers. They were like, they have wasted 25 years of like their existence to just still be arguing after being merged 25 years ago. It's like you had an opportunity to start something new. Obviously, mergers don't work.
But mate, 6 years into the fucking thing, you won a comp,
right? But then I don't know how much it is at the Dragons, whether they still fight heaps or whether it's just maybe still uncomfortable. But like it seems like it runs better. Manly, obviously, we didn't thankfully work.
It didn't work.
Thank God. I don't know. It's just like at some point I'm like, we can fuck the Tigers off if we want and just have them be the Magpies.
Well, that's the thing with Balmain.
I do think though that you can't really argue against a pact like it just seems to be like it's a nice fabric
It's
of
still
the game.
good, yeah.
Like, it's a good thing.
Yes.
And you would definitely lose something if that was to go.
I think but I think if you just called them the Magpies and they still played there.
But they wouldn't. They'd play out at Campbelltown. They'd do the stadium up and they'd own the area. They'd go, we're not fucking.
No, well, like this year, you played like 4 games at Leichhardt this year, maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
Just have a couple
I think the thing with Balmain, like that's the only
If
thing
they
that they're
split,
still riding
if they
on.
split, they would not do that.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe you'd have to. What are you saying?
No, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just saying, like, that's the only thing that Balmain are really holding on to is the fact that we are the Tigers. Do you know what I mean? That's all they've really got in this merger.
Yeah. That's all they've
Well,
got.
especially
they've got 2 big things. They've got fucking 4 games at Leichhardt and they've got the Tigers and they've got the colours. Most of the colours.
Yeah.
That's pretty big.
No, listen.
It's a lot.
It's not nothing.
Because they've got the first impression stuff. They've got the book cover stuff. They haven't got the book, but they've got the cover.
They've got the cover.
It's crazy town. Crazy town.
So
I would love to be in a board meeting just hearing this fucking get brought up, going, what the fuck's the director doing?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
What is that guy doing?
And then just going, need I remind you of... You got no money. You've got
You have no money.
and you got no players.
How the fuck are you going to get out of here?
Got no money, no players.
Just want to take a brief moment within the podcast and just shout out our good friends at Ned's. Fuck me. Number 1 betting platform on earth. Got me in a little bit of a bind over the weekend. I got 1 bet. Shout out to Tommy Turbo. Otherwise, Daddy on all 4s. Willingly.
Begging for it.
Begging.
Really heating up on about even. Let me tell you that, punters and dribblers. Now,
we got ponies coming up.
We've got ponies coming up.
Spring in the air.
What's that?
It's my hay fever, but it's also ponies.
That's nay.
That's me trying to do a horse.
That's me in the trough, baby. That's me in the fucking pony trough. Final winners, trifectas, quinellas, exactas.
Yep. All going to be shared into the About Even group and on our profiles. When's the first big horse race?
She be getting close.
We got to do a Saddle Club stream.
Yeah, we're definitely doing a Saddle Club. We're definitely doing definitely doing a Saddle Club, punters and dribblers. I reckon October probably the go. Maybe even punters and dribblers. Maybe even here's an idea. Derby Day.
I like it. If you can have a punt though, do it with Neds. Huge fans of Neds. Without them, none of it's possible. We love Neds.
Without them, just Hello Sport stops.
Yep. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website. Now, we glossed over this when we got back from Perth because, well, we sort of explained that earlier on that we were completely fucked. But Tobler and I were sort of discussing last week about how it was glossed over and that it probably deserved to just at least be acknowledged. And that was when we were in Perth for the UFC and we were interviewing... Fuck, I've forgotten her name. Apologies. She's an Australian fighter on the undercard. And...
Casey O'Neill.
Sorry, Casey.
How long's she been fighting for Australia for?
Yes, because she had an Irish accent.
Or American?
American, I think.
Oh, American?
accent. Yeah.
I thought it was...
She sounded like she'd been in Australia for
I thought it was Irish. God, I'm way
American.
off.
It was American.
Way off. Anyway, it was just nice. Yours and my history of MMA handshakes.
Well, they're well documented, yeah.
Now...
30 in the morning, so...
We hit play at some
Perfect. So they can keep drinking all night and stay up for me. That'd be great.
Excellent.
Just band in, easy.
100% American.
Good luck.
Chuck a bender in.
Yeah, where'd you get Irish from?
Perfect.
coming on.
Thank
Nice to
you.
meet you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, cheers.
Oh,
Film that.
Oh,
Put that in. Put that in. Put that in.
dude. Oh. And then chirps your shirt.
I need this explained to me.
Now, I'll explain
Alex
it to you.
Pereira has not fought an Australian.
No. Now, I get it. Now, that shirt, firstly,
has he
the
fought an
shirts
Australian?
were sick. We got them from Culture Kings. There were plenty of other options at Culture Kings than an Alex Pereira shirt. Now, the reason I had a Nate Diaz one, Nick Diaz. I take that back. I got a Nick Diaz one, showing my age. Now, I did want your Alex Pereira one, in fairness, because it's fucking sick, but you got it first. The thing that Casey O'Neill is pointing out here is that given the fucking smorgasbord of options for UFC shirts that you could have got
She's not saying that.
Listen.
She's saying that I shouldn't be wearing that because of Adesanya. That's what she's saying.
Exactly. Because there's other options there that you could have got. If you're going to rock a fucking shirt today, it doesn't need to be Alex Pereira, who is the greatest rival of Israel, Adesanya. You could have got fucking a Volk t-shirt.
There wasn't any.
There was a Volk t-shirt.
No, there wasn't.
There was a Volk t-shirt. There was Leon Edwards. There was Nick Diaz. There was fucking GSP.
There was Leon Edwards, which I did like, but he just lost.
I know.
And I couldn't get out of my head because he had because the Leon Edwards one was fucking. It was the Rocky shirt, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
It was badass.
But he's lost.
It was badass.
It's just
there was Conor McGregor shirts.
There was a Conor McGregor shirt.
There were heaps. You
I liked that shirt.
It's a great fucking shirt. I wanted it.
I felt like it was unfair that I got chirped because I'm like, if he'd fucking knocked out an Aussie. Sure.
No, because she's on the. This was an Anzac card. Yeah. This wasn't just
from an Anzac perspective. Yes, she's correct. But I did like the shirt.
I get it, and also I am more of the position. If I was going to argue back with Casey O'Neill, I'd go, "Hey, listen, Izzy knocked out our boy Rob Whittaker, who's my first priority. My first priority is Rob Whittaker.
Even probably my first love."
First love and first priority. So I'll wear whatever the fuck I want.
Well, so ipso facto, I'm supporting Rob by wearing the shirt.
Yeah.
Because I am saying fuck you to Israel, who is an Anzac brother, and I'm half Kiwi, and I'm acknowledging that. But my first half is Australian, and Adesanya beat Rob twice. So my Pereira shirt is in support of Rob. Am I making sense? I should have said this at the time.
Listen.
Obviously, I didn't have an opportunity because my soul had been ripped out of its body.
It was
by a brutal Nabra into it. You shouldn't be wearing that shirt. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. No, that was tough. It was a no handshake, which rattles the best of us, into then your shirts. You know, that's an
shirt.
Well, not
she
shit.
didn't say shit.
She didn't say shit, and it's not shit. It's a fucking dope shirt.
She said you shouldn't be wearing.
If she'd said the shirt was shit, I would have been into battle with you and gone, well, that's a bold-faced lie because that's one of the great shirts all time. I wanted it. When we were in there, I wanted it. Getting free shirts. Okay, thank you. I'll get whatever UFC shirt I want. Cool. Thanks, Culture Kings. Eddie's already got it. I can't do it.
We didn't want to get the same shirt. We didn't want to be wearing the same shirt.
We didn't want to be wearing the same shirt. Didn't want to feel like we were like dressed by our mum. So I got a Nick Diaz shirt. Still good. But she's not saying the shirt was shit. She was saying inappropriate.
I know what she's saying, and I disagree with her.
Yes, she was right, sort of. She could argue her point, and unfortunately for you, off the back of a biblical Nabra in the handshake department, you were not thinking clearly enough to adequately defend yourself.
No, and I do think she's drawing a little bit of a long bow with. We're in Australia, therefore I should be wearing an Izzy shirt. I just felt like a long bow.
Not in Australia. We're on an Israel Adesanya card. You shouldn't be wearing a T-shirt of his greatest rival. That's what it was. Not that we're in Australia.
Maybe I'm a Drickus guy. Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm with you. And we are Drickus guys. Drickus is a good friend.
Different. Interviewed him twice. Cried twice.
Yeah, we got him crying.
You know what I'm saying?
Anyway.
Shout out to Culture Kings, though.
Shout out to Culture Kings.
For allowing that moment to happen.
She's not actually from America. She's born in Scotland and then moved to the Gold Coast when she was 10 years old. And she represents both when she fights on the cards, but she's come out and said that she likes Scotland a little bit more.
Right.
She had to pick.
When did she come
choose
out and say
Scotland.
that?
I believe this was in 2022.
So I got chirped by a turncoat.
Yeah, you did. And I was kind of right that I said Irish.
You were.
Kind of right.
She doesn't sound Scottish.
No, she doesn't, because then I acknowledged, I was like, yeah, that's a
She does not sound Scottish at all.
No, but it sounded a bit, when you were up there, like, close and personal, I didn't get full yank. That little bit there, I got a little bit of yank, but, like, not full yank. Anyway, that handshake was fucked. My hand's also preparing for a shake, so I actually just got off scot-free. You were closer.
Nah,
and
but you didn't go out.
I didn't put it out.
No, you didn't go out.
Thanks, cheers.
Look, I switched my hands. I see you get fucked, and I go, great.
Put that in. Put that in. Put that in.
Oh, that's tough.
Read the room, brother. You shouldn't be wearing that here in Australia.
Read
you
the
read the
room,
room.
Yeah,
You
you're not
read
even
the room.
Australian.
You're not Australian. You fucking go for Scotland, and Adesanya's not Australian. Punters and dribblers, little marathon update. We are circa
2
10
weeks.
days, 12 days,
17th?
13 sleeps,
15 days. 17th, is it?
13 sleeps. It's the 15th.
15th.
It's not on a Tuesday. 13 sleeps. 13 sleeps until the biggest race of some people's lives. Not us.
Well, we've done it.
We've done it. Now, a bit of housekeeping off the top before we talk to the latest marathoner, the latest of us to go for the Cody Toads. Housekeeping. If you don't have your Goers Club shirt yet, which if you didn't come to the run club a couple of weeks ago, Wednesday night, critically acclaimed run, 5Ks almost killed Tom, then you won't have it. But if you want it, listen in and listen good. You will have got an email. If you haven't, I'm going to repeat it here. Shirt Collection Headquarters, Always Human Officers, Level 1, 128 to 130 Rothschild Avenue, Rosebery. Just rewind it. I'm not going to say it again. Just rewind it and listen.
We'll put it in the show notes as well.
Collection times, Wednesday the 11th of September from 12 till 2. Thursday the 12th of September from 12 to 2. Friday the 13th of September from 8 till 5. I can appreciate, punters and dribblers, that some of you are like, well, we don't get that all Saturday. There was too much room at the Bib Expo. We weren't able to set up shop there like we did last year. It's completely out of our hands. Always Human have gone above and beyond for us here in getting out.
And they've done enough. Like we've given you some fucking options there to try and find it.
You can get a friend to pick it up for you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Unfortunately, outside of that,
Pay Air Tasker. Get someone to go do it.
Yep. Get an Uber to pick it up for you. Outside of that, I'm no help. The times again, Wednesday the 11th of September, 12 till 2. Thursday the 12th of September, 12 till 2. And Friday, this is the big mother, 13th of September, 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. That's the mother.
Yep.
That's the mother. Before work, after work, during work.
You got it all.
Now, that's it. We can't collect them before then. Your race bibs, you got to collect separately. You know the drill.
You know the drill. Now, Cody, you got very sick last week, courtesy of one of your dads.
Well,
Maybe
courtesy
both.
of whom, I wonder?
Because I got way sicker than you, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we both didn't have a similar. We both had something similar.
Mate, I think that we had the same thing.
Yes.
I just had it way worse I didn't have it as bad as you.
No.
But we got it from somewhere, and I don't know who.
Oh, yeah. Who gave it to us? I don't know. No one that I'm aware of. No one that I immediately am aware of from Perth.
It would have need to have been Friday at some point.
You reckon? Because I got it Saturday. Because it fucked me Sunday, sorry.
Yep. You wouldn't have got it Saturday, I don't think.
Well, it could have been on the flight, dude.
Possibly. But we weren't sitting next to each other. Yes,
No,
we
we were on the plane.
Yes,
Yeah,
we were.
yeah.
Yes, we were. Might have been fucking old, mate.
Justin Harrison next to us.
Old long limbs spilling out into the aisle.
Poor old
Poor
Justin
cunt.
Harrison being sent over to Perth in fucking economy.
Mate,
his knees up around his eyes.
You've never seen a sadder sight in your life. Justin Harrison, 6'9", the cunt. He's spilling into the aisle. They can't get the bloody tray, the cart past him because his legs are in the aisle.
Dude, he looked like a
hitting his
fucking
knee.
praying mantis or a frog. His knees
Mate, it was so etch. I'm like, this cunt at a minimum needs to be in an exit row.
And the guy in front of him's reclined his seat, which, I mean, I'm like, I get it. In domestic flights, people don't like it.
Yeah, but turn around and have a gander.
Yeah.
You got a 7-foot
Yeah.
bloke who's in economy, the poor bastard, not in an exit row.
Channel 9 need to be sending him business anywhere. He's too big. Or Stan, or whoever the fuck he
Mate,
commentates rugby for.
we were in shock. We were on a plane that had the suites, the business class suites. It was appalling, the treatment of Justin
No, yeah,
Harrison.
that was bullshit.
How long's the flight?
5 hours? 5 and a bit?
Yeah, I reckon you can recline on that.
I think you can
5
recline that as
hours,
well.
I think that's a pretty long
Yes.
flight.
But it's
not
it's,
if you've
it's,
got,
but it's
Harrison
reclining
behind
onto
you,
a man who's
praying
half
man.
who's
Fuck
half
that.
in the hot. You got to show a bit of decorum.
They literally couldn't get it past his knee. He had to like pull in his leg and fucking.
They couldn't get the car past. I'm not even taking the piss. It was madness.
He's lucky that on this flight. So on the flight they had screens that could detach. So basically all iPads. So you could take them out. If that didn't have that feature, he wouldn't have been able to watch a thing because the thing reclined like to down here.
He had
and
to
it's
put
like,
it on his leg.
He'd have to so he watched the whole thing
He had to
like
put it on his leg.
like this so he could watch anything.
It was fucking that grim.
It was ridiculous.
It was
Weren't you guys in an
absurd.
exit row?
Not over there, no.
Oh,
Honestly,
I thought you always go exit rows.
Well, we do.
Well, but this plane was bigger, so it was 242, so we're just next to each other. It was manageable.
It was manageable, and we're not 7 foot, so it's all right. But
like
Justin
that's more just about us wanting to be slightly more comfortable with the extra row thing. They weren't available, not the end of the world. Justin Harrison needed one.
Yeah. Well, he needed to be in business. Like you should be if you've got an employer and they're like, well, we sort of don't send anyone business for anything less than 8 hours. It's like, but I'm 7 foot though, right? So then you go, okay, maybe as part of Justin's contract, we can acknowledge that this man
It's huge.
and that it is bordering on a human rights violation to make him sit in economy.
And you just go back to the fact that Channel 9 sent everyone they've ever met to the Olympics in Paris.
Yes.
In my opinion, unnecessarily. I think most of that stuff could have been done from a studio.
That doesn't matter. We enjoyed it. But
I'm just saying if cost cutting is important to you, putting Justin Harrison of 7 foot fame into an economy non-exit row seat
for a 5-hour flight to Perth,
then don't send every man you've ever met to Paris.
Yeah.
For a 5-minute fucking session every day.
Don't send every man or woman you've ever met to Paris for 5 minutes of work. Hey. Oh, lovely to meet you. Do you want to go to Paris?
Yeah, and then do in the great Justin Harrison. That's all I'm saying.
That's all
we're coming
saying.
to bat for a
We're
man.
justice for Justin.
Justice for Justin.
Seriously, that poor cunt.
Now-
Knees up to his earlobes.
It was
ridiculous.
It was the most absurd thing I've ever seen. I'm not joking.
Mate.
It was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Now, Cody Totes.
Cody, Marathon Cody. Were sick, not sick. Have you done your big run?
Were sick. Didn't get my big run out, which is probably for the first time in this process I'm like slightly wigging.
Because you wanted to get your 30
I
out.
wanted to get my 30 and probably too close to race day now to do a 30.
Didn't think of doing a 30 while you were away at the festival?
Poor timing again on the festival, yes. I should probably acknowledge that. It was booked before I agreed to the marathon.
Did you have fun at least?
Had a great time. Had a great time. So, man, I'm all right. I'm all right. I don't know. I'll probably just taper now, I guess.
Well, what's your longest you've done?
25.
That's okay.
You're all right.
That's fine. You'll be fine. It really is gonna be about what you're about upstairs.
What gear have you got?
What do you mean?
Like marathon? Did we say we were going to get you some fucking marathon gear?
He's
Like,
got
have you
shoes.
You've mentioned I've got shoes. That's it.
shoes?
He
Okay,
paid for shoes. He got shoes.
but like we need him to get some shorts. He's obviously going
What
to
are
have
you
a
gonna wear?
shirt.
I don't know. I haven't thought about it.
Well, you've got your shirt.
We've got to get him gels.
He's already got his
Dude, we
shirt.
should get him to Pace Athletic. Get him some gels. Get him fucking
We're going to
salt tablets
Well,
and
let's
shit.
go see our mates.
We have to take you into Pace Athletic.
Or
this
he can
week.
go in.
He can
I'd
go
love
in.
that.
Yeah,
I'd love that.
Let's do that. We'll get you kitted out. Have you been taking gels? I told you to take gels.
I tried gels on my 25k run. Seemed to help.
They
Hey,
do
but
help.
salt as well. You don't want to cramp, dog.
Dude, I'm a big cramper.
Dude, you need to
You
get
can get
salt
little
tablets.
salt iodine tablets that you just keep in
Once
your
you start
running pouch.
cramping, it's all over. You will cramp the whole time.
Yes.
I don't think you can have too many gels either. I only had 4, and that wasn't enough.
I
I
had
probably should have
heaps.
had 8. Maybe you're at risk of shitting yourself, but glory awaits. You know what I mean? And big pants
Also a weight.
Yeah.
could await. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather shit myself than wear enormous pants for 30 days.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, but not in public. Like, you don't want people seeing you with poo down the back of your legs. I'm just saying, buddy, that'd be tough.
Let's just assume it's.
Did you guys shit during the race during your
I
run?
stopped and took a shit.
I did a wee at
I did a wee as well.
17 Ks.
Okay, in and out sort of stuff. Is it easy to like get in for a wee? Like what?
I was in the park at this point. It was very casual.
Yeah.
There was a couple of portaloos on the side of the road.
I found
my brother
it really
nipped in.
hard
It was
to
nice.
piss after running that long length of time.
I needed a piss, so I got in.
No, so I didn't just stop because I didn't need to. I needed to
why I was
piss,
confused.
but I was in there being like, I was struggling to piss. I don't know if it was like because I was worried about getting back out there or whatever, but I was like, something about running long distances and then just weeing was tough.
Probably dehydrated as well. Like I didn't piss at all, but I think we were just sweating it all out.
Well, you were cheating, Clancy, so you know it's fine.
No, it was 35-degree day, so.
So, just to clarify, if he beats the time of 4 hours 52, there is a financial reward undisclosed. If he fails to meet that mark, he is in the baggiest pair of pants. Where's Felix's denim guy? I thought he was coming in.
Yeah, well, Felix nipped off to fucking
I think
Japan.
that's why Felix went to Japan. His denim guy might be over there, so like a bit of a business trip. So he might come back at the end of this week with
Better
all
not
the
be
denim
asking
we
for
need.
reimbursements for his Japan trip if it's about
Well,
the
that won't be
pants.
happening.
That won't be happening.
The biggest pants you've ever seen, 30 days, all times, except for showers.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the rule.
And then Scopes running too. He's got to beat your time.
He's got to beat my time, circa 4 hours 25, something like that. I can dig up the official time.
I think then it's like 500 to charity.
Yep. We've been running into Louis Brown, Earl's fame, friend of the show, and he's not confident about where Scope's at.
Listen,
lot of
we
excuses.
don't want to air any private conversations that were had in private from Louis. But he's worried about Scope. And so are we.
We're not airing anything. It's just Louis told us that Scope is sooking a lot about his leg.
Yeah, saying that Scope's been a big old pussy. There you go, fuck it. All dirty laundry ad. Scope's being a giant pussy. Saying
Scope's been a sook who's moved his, I'm going to break 4 hours. He's moved that down to, I might break Eddie's time. Like, he's all at sea.
He's all at sea. I hope for the best for Scope as well because I love him. He's different.
And he's not typically not a big excuses guy.
No.
It's just a little out of character. Just a little out of character. But I mean, you come up against a stallion, you know what I mean? And you rattled yourself.
Yep. So we're just hearing some things.
Via Louis Brown.
Yep. Who didn't say anything.
No, he didn't say anything to us.
No, we just heard it. We heard him bitching about him.
He might have said to us.
Yeah. But we won't be running punters and dribblers. We'll be in the good day tent, handing out good days. So
And boy and the boys.
And boy and the boys. And girls.
And girls.
And then going to the Ivy after.
Also, if you intend on wearing a hat on the day and you're a good day and you're a goer, don't. We will be providing you hats at the start line.
Yeah. Good day goers hats.
We'll give you a rev up and we'll give you a hat. Sound good? Cool.
Great.
Where do you put 8 gels?
Yo, well, did you get a Pace Athletic, bro? We're going to get you a little bum bag.
You need a little bummy.
You have a sick bummy?
Yeah, we'll get you a bummy.
You get a discreet running bummy.
Yeah.
So you don't even know it's there.
It's a running bummy, not a you at your fucking Marrickville Markets bummy. You know what I mean? Like,
cool.
So it's not a bummy that you're wearing across your chest.
Yep.
It's a bum bag, not a tote bag.
Yeah.
Do you know the difference?
Yes, I do.
Well, no, there's tote bags, but then there's like cool bummies.
Oh, like Eshe.
Yeah, trendy bummies. Shea bummies.
Shea bummy. No.
No, there's a running bummy.
Discreet runny bummy. Probably closer to like a passport holder that old people, boomers take overseas.
Yeah.
It'd be closer to that than it would be to an Eshe
But
bummy.
you can also get some good running shorts with some like little pockets and shit, zip pockets.
What underwear are you running?
Well, I usually wear like skins.
Yeah,
I guess.
good.
Because you're gonna need that, and you're gonna need that playing into the bike short thing, just like extra coverage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you've got huge nipples like Toddler, probably tape them as well.
Yeah.
Band-Aid, yeah.
But you won't need to.
And
if
then
you've
you
got
can
normal
get
size.
like some
If
glue
you've got
for the inside of your thighs.
If you've got human-sized nipples rather than a nursing,
If your estrogen
cow,
levels like it's like normal.
if you've got a mother cow udders for nips,
Yeah.
Just makes
If it
the
looks
feet
like you
even
need to
more
be milked,
impressive.
then maybe tape up.
Yeah.
I'll
Makes it
let
all
you
the
make
more
that
impressive.
call.
I
If
haven't
you
had any
feel
nip
like you need
issues
to be
yet.
milked, then tape up.
Trust me, you don't want to end up with bleeding nipples. So
No, you
tape
don't.
them up.
yeah.
No, you don't.
Tape
Yeah.
lube
I
your
ran
legs.
45 or 42 Ks, no tape on the nipples, no blood. We've also got very good shirts.
Yes, we do. They're great shirts. Shout out to our friends at ASICS.
Yeah. Did you see the Aussie soccer player in the MLS who got suspended for saying a naughty word?
How naughty?
Not naughty. Like as in, not by our standards.
Oh, he said fuck or something.
He said cunt. He called a player a cunt.
And he got suspended.
I believe
2 games on his
Yanks
debut
hate
in the
that
MLS.
word, dude. It gets into their soul.
Yeah, they do hate it.
They
do
hate,
it.
mate. If you say cunt around a Yank, they almost shit themselves.
I must have told this story. I said cunt in front of when a friend of the show, Luke Bracey, was filming a movie with Selena Gomez. I don't know what the fuck it was called.
Monte Carlo.
Yes. First thing he'd ever done, like in terms of like non-home and away, it was like, holy fuck. And the chick from Gossip Girl was in it.
His first role after Trey Palmer.
Correct. And the chick
So
from
he blew
Gossip
up a
Girl was
boss
in it.
in
Who was
2009.
Leighton Meester?
Leighton Meester.
Yes.
And so we were like, it must have been lunch on set or some shit.
Was Blake Lively in that?
No.
I'm
Just
saying
Leighton
Gossip
Meester.
Girl.
Anyway.
No, who's the third chick in that?
Some blonde chick, but I know what you mean, but not her.
Okay.
And we're telling yarns in the lunch area. I'm probably 19. She's maybe 24.
Leighton?
Yeah. So I'm already probably trying to like seem cool in front of the actress who's older. But I don't know that cunt's not play on. And I'm telling
We haven't seen enough winters.
nearly enough winters. And I drop a yarn that basically finishes with me saying, fucking cunt. And the sense of a story not landing was just, she was like looking at me like, what the fuck did you just say? And I'm like, oh, Jesus, she's offended by that word. Why did I even tell that story? And what the fuck's going on? It was real like, okay, I'm going to shuffle back to the table now, you guys.
Were you one-on-one with her?
Nah, I wasn't one-on-one. It was like Sebo was there, Brace was there, but it was...
How did Brace...
They didn't not laugh. It wasn't like that story wasn't funny. It was like... We all knew what had happened there, and it was like, oh, dude, you shouldn't like... So I walked away, I was like, oh.
I love that so much.
Whoops.
That's so good.
Yeah. So Yanks don't like the C word.
I hate the C word. So much so you get suspended for 2 games.
So is there any... who is the guy, and what team does he play for?
Patrick Yazbek. Who does he play for? He plays for Nashville, and it was his debut in the MLS.
I feel sorry for him. He would have been in the tribunal going, mate, in my country, it's as ubiquitous as hello.
Yeah, it's used for like terms of endearment often.
It violates
He's a mad cunt.
They have a pretty
Or a
strong
sick cunt.
anti-discrimination policy. And so he must have said it, and then the ref had to pause the match for 5 minutes.
Oh my God. He would have been like, are you serious? We're pausing the game for this?
They paused the game.
Yeah, led to the referee delaying play for 5 minutes.
What, because
And
it was
then
antisocial?
Before play restarted, Yazbek...
Dude, could you imagine?
He was subbed off.
You'd be wicked going.
He got subbed off?
Yeah, so he said it in the first half. The refs paused the game for 5 minutes. They subbed him off, and now he's got a too much ban.
He must have been like, in his
debut. He'd be like, go out and play in Western Sydney, mate. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Go out and play in Western Sydney. Go out and just have a general day-to-day interaction with any group of friends, specifically male.
He's 22.
All I'm saying is...
He's just a young kid.
All I'm saying is, out at Premier League soccer that Cody reckons he played, there'd be cunts coming out the bloody wazoo.
But again, positive, mad cunt, good cunt, sick cunt. Then there's silly or dumb cunt.
Or fuck off, you cunt.
Fuck off, you cunt. Smart cunt.
It can't basically, punters and dribblers, if you are a Yank listening, it comes to inflection of the word.
Yeah.
Oh, a bit of a sick cunt, are you? Like, I'm taking the piss out of you. But
Or
otherwise, if you do
he's
something
a
like,
sick cunt.
fuck, he's a sick cunt. It's just tempo.
It's
timing.
tempo,
beat.
it's timing, it's cadence.
And it is, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's probably my favourite word because of its range.
Yes.
There isn't a word in the English
Versatility.
language that has the versatility, the range that it's got.
Yeah.
It's just an incredible word. And shame on you. And
Americans, bunch of
quite
pussies.
frankly, you've nabrad, you've spat in the face of a great word.
Well, they've spat in the face of our culture.
And a great word.
But our culture. So this guy is merely taking Australia to the world.
Yes.
And then he's being suspended for it.
And had the humiliation of a 5 minute, we're stopping the game so everyone can go and fucking have a little cry.
Is there any footage? I'd just love to see him being like, Am I taking crazy pills here? Like, what the fuck?
I'll try and find
Is
some.
this
but he
woke
also-
shit? Like, oh, everyone sit down and like talk about their feelings and fucking unwrap this word? Like, what are we doing?
He's required to complete a restorative practice program.
Oh,
before he
That's what I'm
comes back.
saying.
Yeah.
That's what that
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find some footage.
What's that? That's
I'll
about,
look
like,
into it.
Reprogramming. That's what that is.
He should come out and claim like cultural discrimination. Just go,
It is
"So-
cultural, but it is though. Like, if you want to get into the nitty gritty, it is cultural discrimination. We use that word a lot down here. Everyone does, especially in our generation. The older boys don't like it. That's all right.
As
That's
much.
As much. They don't.
My old man doesn't. He gets around it.
Yeah, but he's a bit rarier, old man. Shout out to him. I saw that interview went well.
Mate, he loved it. He loved it. He loved
Great
going
stuff. It's super common amongst our generation, and so it is cultural discrimination, in my opinion.
on. I'm with you. I'm with you on the cultural discrimination.
He would have been so shocked and rattled by the 5-minute calm down and the sub.
And now the cultural regenerative training, or the fuck he's going to.
Where is he going to sit down and watch bloody like 5-minute YouTube cut ups of
How that
patriotism
word
in
could
America
hurt
and shit?
Well, land of the free, my
Land of
ass.
the free, yeah, freedom and stuff.
Yeah, I can't find any details.
Oh,
of
so
what's
hang on, no,
involved.
but let's just unpack this for a second. Land of the free,
Home
quote
of the
unquote,
brave?
quote unquote, and a little cunt gets you all sooking and a 5-minute fucking lay down and a 2-minute ban. That doesn't sound like the land of the free.
No. Doesn't.
Sounds like the land of the controlled.
Yeah, land of the prisoner.
Land of the oppressed.
Yeah.
You can't even say cunt. You can you think like locking up your guns in cabinets keeps you safe. You can't even say cunt. You are oppressed.
Disgraceful.
yank.
Yeah. Mate,
That's appalling.
Well, it's the end of the empire, mate.
Final days of Rome. Little cunt got you all laying down for 5 minutes.
Yeah, sooking.
You won 2 world wars back to back.
Yeah.
Pacific and European theatre.
Get some real problems.
Did it on your nose, mate. Went to fucking the moon in 9 years. Like, what's become of you?
Yeah.
A lie down for 5 minutes for a little cunt? Just a bloke showing his
culture,
his people, the way he speaks. You've lost your fucking way, dear Yank.
Yeah, they have.
Lost your way.
Dear Yank, you've lost your way. Sincerely, Tom and Eddy. Back on that fucking interview with my old man. So at one point he was telling us yarn about these ads that he wrote in the 80s that won awards. And it's hard to go into it. I'm not going to do it because I don't know But if you listen to the podcast and you hear him explain it, basically one of the ads, there were 5 of them, but one of them was this, it was an interaction between 2 customers and a Chinese restaurant owner. And it's like someone doing an Asian accent, and they're ordering different things and they're going back and forth. That's as broad a gist as I can give it to you, but it was funny. And then Dad was like, yeah, but I don't know. I was like, I wonder if you could find them online anywhere. And we couldn't find them. But they used to play on radio, Triple M and shit. Right. And they said that like these were the program director of Triple M was like, I would have never had anyone call up asking for people to like play ads again. You know what I mean? No one's ever called up and like, oh, dude, play that fucking Husqvarna ad.
Yes.
But that people would call up and ask for these ads to get replayed. Then we get a DM from a dribbler and he's like, oh, I found your dad's ad on this Doug Mulray YouTube compilation of like, Doug Mulray was one of the biggest radio presenters at Triple M at the time. So I'm like, oh, sick. He's like, it's 17 minutes in. So I'm listening to it. And I'm like, oh, this sounds like what Dad was explaining. And so then I send it to Dad and I'm like, yeah. Some dribblers found it. He's like, fucking hell. He's like, why is it on a Doug Mulray comedy album? I'm like, I don't know. I think it's just a YouTube compilation thing. Just fucking listen to it. And then I go, oh, the bit about this thing was funny. And he's like, there was never anything about that in my thing. And I'm like, right, all right, we'll have a listen. Doug Mulray, who is no longer with us, completely stole Dad's idea, ripped off the entire joke, and snuck it into his fucking comedy album.
And your dad had no idea?
No idea. He's like, I had no idea.
Was he
ropeable? No, because he doesn't really like.
And he's passed away. Whatever.
But it's whatever. But like they knew each other through being in the industry. In fact, I think they lived on the same street growing up. But completely just stole the fucking thing. And Dad's like, he's almost laughing. He's just like, what the fuck? Jesus Christ, dude. Completely lifted the whole thing, added shit to it that made it not funny as well. Like, no disrespect to, I'm not speaking ill of the dead here. I don't think he's that, like, I don't find his shit funny. Maybe, like, comedy doesn't necessarily age well. But just I was listening to some of the stuff. But you could see where, like, who I think my old man's very talented, has come up with this funny concept. This guy has taken basically everything, but then added his own things to it that made it worse and was sort of like lazy, shitty attempt to
like many things.
Correct. But it was just fucking wild. Dad's like, I never knew this cunt all these years ago just completely lifted my idea. I just wanted to, there's a bunch of dribbles are hitting us up about it.
It's so interesting how nowadays you would be called out immediately.
You'd be caught immediately as well.
You'd be caught immediately, be called out by people for it immediately. Yeah. But back then, it's just like that could happen
way more easily as well because not everything was recorded. You never know. Even though it was an ad, but like, you know, you could, like, stealing people's jokes and shit in like comedy rooms and stuff was way easier back then as well because it was like, how could you prove?
But also, it was just like the transfer information. You've got to wait for that to get to you via whispers.
Yes.
Or information passed amongst people. There's no like tool in which to share it.
Yes, fully.
It's got to go fucking person to person. Do you hear what fucking...
Proper viral.
Yeah. Proper old school viral. Marilyn Manson, no ribs viral.
Sucking your own dick. 2 ribs removed.
That sort of stuff. The last great viral...
Yarn.
Truly viral. That I'm aware of.
Yeah, there might be some going.
That was pre-internet, mate. Everyone.
Did you guys hear about Marilyn Manson?
Yeah, we had that growing up. Toasted
still
you?
Doing the rounds.
Still punching on. Yeah. That thing's still going.
Punching on.
And that's like, you didn't see that online. That's just like...
Yeah. I remember hearing that like in primary school.
Yeah, I think my cousin told me when I was in primary school.
Over the handball courts, dude. That's where it got around. Yeah. I looked up Marilyn Manson recently just to be like, what's he doing now? It gets sadder the older you get.
The problem is, like, at some point, you need to
you've got to leave it where it was.
You've got to, like, age gracefully. And it's all well and good to, like, be Marilyn Manson. But, like, there's something, like, not as cool about being fucking 60 and...
Covered in that shit.
Covered in this weird makeup.
It's just a bit, like... I don't know. It seems sad to me.
Each to your own.
It just... when I saw him, I go, oh, that's a bit sad.
Listen,
that was just my feeling.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Clap your hands,
like, and
baby.
that's fine.
Clap your hands.
If he still likes doing it, then that's cool. But it does just feel a little bit like, you know.
It feels like 20 years too late. Not too late.
Too long.
Too long.
Yeah. I don't know, though. Who knows what we'll be doing at 60.
And if I'm still doing this at 60, I open myself up to critique.
Yes.
To criticism.
Yeah.
100%. And I'll be aware of that.
Mm.
I'll know that.
But if you're happy and you know it, yeah. Punters, Dribblers, that's us. We are done. We love ya. We'll see ya Thursday, Wednesday, about even.
Good to be back.
Good to be back. God, I love you, cunts.
Ciao.
Bye.
Could you two just not talk anymore?